Ooh, my mic. Don't want to forget my mic. And we are live! Hey, everybody! Guess who's back? The boy's back in town. Well, not the boy, but this boy's back in town. How we all doing? Infinite, good to glad to have you. Ray, good to glad to have you. V, good to glad to have you. Jane, good to glad to have you. Story, good to glad to have you. Des, good to glad to have you. Raven, good to glad to have you. Laffy, good to glad to have you. Sarah, good to glad to have you. Codex, good to glad to have you. Good to glad to have you. Good to glad to have you. Light, good to glad to have you. Ah, still kind of got it. Gotta go refine that. Oh, look at all you lovely little Viper peeps. Look at us. All getting ready to go. So yeah, we're back. We're here to do Dawn Trail. We're here to play 7.0. Now, not only with new visuals in-game, but new visuals out here as well. And actually a storm to prelude going into Dawn Trail is actually rather fitting. How's audio? Can I get a check on that? But yeah, so we're going to be doing MSQ replay as per usual. We're going to be going right back into 7.0. It's been a while since we've had one of these. I don't know when we did Myths of the Realm, but it was probably it was 6.5, so at the very least it's been probably 4 or 5 months. Obviously, since then, there's even before then I was dealing with some health issues and all the stuff, but I'm doing a lot better now, so we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff, content and stuff coming out. We've got shorts coming out tomorrow, and then we've got this. I'm trying to think. The usual cadence and case will be the expectation. Probably today we won't get to a dungeon. We'll probably see a dungeon next week. The likely cadence for these streams is probably going to be Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. EST. However, I don't want to make any promises because I'm still figuring life out. But the general assumption will be Monday through Thursday with certain days off. As necessary, either for getting back to the flow of putting out videos or for health. But yeah, could be a touch louder. Okay, let me bump up the game. Let me bump up the game a little bit. Tell me if that's good. Raven, thank you for the $5. I request the finest of jobstones. Well, now we've got the Viper one, and this one is a little bit spicy because if you see around its edges, it's almost like when you've got a cut agate or like a cut geode, you know, where it's got like rock around the outside. We got Laffy also. Everyone vibing it up in here. I'm gonna say obviously I'm a tank main. I'm not huge usually, as my share denotes. I'm not usually a huge DPS main. The last time I think we did that to any degree was in what's it called? Stormblood. So I love Viper, but I have not practiced Viper as near as much. So this will be a fun journey with that. Also, we're gonna do the usual daily getting into the vibes things. So let us go ahead without further ado. Start out our first quest for Viper. I also will probably try to either do maybe more than one Viper role quest per day because I also want us to get into the role quests as well and do them along with. Also, I am terrible at almost all of the general South Central American accents that exist in this game. So while I'll be able to give you a real good American accent if you don't know what I mean, I may struggle a little bit when we're going with a lot of Tuliyollal. I will do my best. I do not promise to have necessarily apt or representational versions of their dialogue. Also, you know what? Since we're in Ul'dah, I do want to go say, have any of you guys seen... So obviously 7.0 had huge graphical updates, and boy does the game look a lot better in a lot of places, but we knew that 0.1 through 0.3 was going to see graphical updates throughout those patches as they basically had implied or promised. I don't remember the exact language. But even with 0.1, we saw some tweaks to people's faces and further tweaks from feedback, but we also saw things like the Sapphire Avenue looks, oh my god, so much better, and now the stalls actually like, I think before they did technically match some of the people and what they were selling, but now it's all directly exactly what they're selling, and it looks gorgeous. How's your Wukala? Can you Sphene? I will point out they did re-record the Interphos lines for patch 7.0. They re-recorded Y'shtol's lines and the Interphos lines, and the vocal direction for it I think is much improved. With Dawn Trail, people can actually start playing Eorzean and saw 2 Duskwhites in the same party today. Yeah, you know, Dawn Trail is the Duskwhite expansion. You heard it here. Okay, let's go get to the Tural. I also did not play all of my, did all the quests on my alt. So we'll be seeing, I may be stopping to do certain quests. I usually, since I try to like be very clear cut with each episode about how far we're getting. Probably won't do all the yellows or maybe even all the blues, but maybe I might do off streams, like on T Live doing some stuff, or we'll see. I definitely know that I want to take notes because I have a new note system. It's not all sorted, but it's called Joplin, and basically I'm trying to create an archive of like all my notes and ideas as we go along, rather than just kind of wing it. Also, let me see. Did you guys say anything? Happy time of day. Good time of day to you as well, Jane Doe. That'd be back for more MSQ. Reminder, no spoilers. There's much left to spoil, but basically just the bits where we haven't got to yet. Notice his numbers. I need a weapon. Yeah. Des, good to see you. Glad to have you. Story, good to see you. Glad to have you. Missed you guys. Greetings. Also licking the like button. Yummy. Hi, y'all. Hi, Codex. I'm already in despair. Try to say. I haven't heard you still re-recorded lines yet. I haven't checked on those yet either. I just know they were. I have a third alt ready to fully replay the game with new graphics. He's been collecting dust. Okay, hear me out. What do you guys here, especially you guys who are here the most regularly, what do you guys think about when 7.3 or like the patch, when 7.55 maybe even comes out, we're between 7.5 AO, restarting and doing all of it again now that the graphics updates and all the changes that happen. Maybe especially if we get the binding coils rework that they kind of implied they might have been considering. They fixed mechanics in Gridania occupying the wrong stalls by moving stalls around instead of just moving NPCs. Also, Retainer Bell and Capitals are extremely shiny. Made an alt before Tural dropped with the intention to replay the game. He's still stuck in ARR. Dude, there's been so much to do. I will tell you, I've been prepping Elio to be able to be ready for this stream. I got all my jobs to 90, other than Scholar and Summoner, because I've only been leveling Scholar through PvP. I'm so ready to be in Dawn Trail, but also, have I not engaged with that content nearly as much the past 2 months. Okay, I need to also, I gotta figure out how I want to do my Viper stuff. Also, general broad question that I'm going to be asking repeatedly as we go along these episodes, especially for anyone who's not a regular, but I'm very curious about your guys' thought about Dawn Trail overall. Obviously, we can't talk about specifics. We'll talk about specifics and spoilers as we go along, but I'm very curious to get the temperature, because we have all this like narrative around the doom and gloom of it, or more accurately, I think the tension and friction between some people very much disliking, some people liking it, and I'm curious what I can maybe glean from you guys as we go. Okay. Oh, also, I don't have any bars right now. Maybe I'll try to set them up soon. But the funding goals for the money that we get from this is going to go towards the funding goal of setting up the backdrop further. Right now, the main goal is going to be trying to get one of each of the collector boxes of every from the game. So 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, of which I already have a 3.0 Heavensward box that I ordered from Japan, and I have a 7.0 collector's edition. So. Okay, let's get going. Well, you sure look the part, but do you feel anything from the soul crystal? Well, I feel swordsy? I knew it. Sounds like you got what it takes to be a Viper. But the only way to know for sure is to put the new skills to the test. From that, we'll need to pray. From what I hear, your adventurers have got your own guilds, so I'm guessing the folks there will know the best spot for hunting. Let's go and see what they can tell us. Oh, also, how's the, visuals? Have any problems? Hey, buddy. Let's have you hang out for now. Because I can also up the bitrate if things aren't very sharp. I even connected my new alt story to Raven's backstory. Oh, that's cute. Agreed. Lala Elio. Level your Euro alt. Yeah. The one I use for bringing stuff to like Ray or other people. Only if you do it as you do it as a Lalafell. Euro Lala Elio. I love it so much, especially on the new zones. It was hard to choose favorites. Talking about Dawn Trail. I might try to convince Voidprime to do MSQ playthrough on an alt then. For once, I will be controlling the game. Dawn Trail's been a good content-wise. The only two problems I feel it had are weak and mediocre MSQ and content drop between patches. David, good to glad to have you. It's interesting. I'll definitely will be talking about the MSQ as we go along. I'm, as everyone probably knows by now, if you've been watching the others, these pretty much an overly positive person. But I don't think that positiveness comes as a ignoring faults or blindness. I just also think that I celebrate strengths that maybe not everyone else necessarily feels as strengths. But we'll see as we go along. There's only two main areas in the MSQ I find particularly weak, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting discussion. Also by the astronauts. Yeah. And the interesting thing you say about content drought is that, like, it's not that I'm saying you're wrong in terms of there could be more content between patches, but this there is the time between patches is not at all weird, and the amount of content between them is been standard. I mean, arguably for 4 expansions, but maybe at least 3. Not that doesn't mean that we don't want more. It is just interesting that I don't think that there's anything about that applies specific to Dawn Trail rather than a broader thing. If you're after deadly predators, try Spineless Basin. Lately they've been citing the heretofore unknown species, those that slaughter anything that moves, including travelers. What's worse, they work in packs. Even the adventurers hired to cull them ended up meeting a sticky end. Oh man, that kind of reminds me of like the Cutter's Cry. I already said I don't know anything about beasties. Who are you anyways? Keshqua. Dude, man, you gotta be a little bit more socially inept. You got a lead already. Maybe there's something to this whole asking around thing after all. I heard about some adventurers over in Hydaelyn. We should check them out. Critters not from around these parts, you say. Either they got chased out of their usual habitat, or they were brung here. Either way, that's bad news for folks unfortunate enough to cross paths with them. The hunting of Tural Vidra is a Viper's most important duty. That doesn't mean we turn a blind eye to lesser threats. Next stop, Spineless Basin. If Mikote becomes a Viper, does that mean he becomes a Viper? Howdy, Alton Ray. Good to glad to have you. Rag, good to glad to have you. Keeper of the Moons make the best Vipers as they are natural wielding fangs. Well played. Yeah, it's not a Dawn Trail specific problem. Yeah. Now, curiously, David, have you been playing? How long have you been playing the 14 for? I only asked that because there's like 3 ways to be, right? Or 4 ways, I would say. Either you're new, and so everything's still exciting, there's plenty to do. You're new, and you've reached the patches, and you're like frustrated with the time between. You're an old hat, and you've completely relaxed into like the cadence. Or you're an old hat, but you still you're frustrated, and you want them to change it up and add more between. Like, I feel like, obviously, that's an overgeneralization, but those are like the 4 main camps I find that people break down into. These here are adventurers, ran into a whole gaggle of fiends we're after. They got pretty roughed up, but I saw to their wounds already. Don't you worry. Before we go say hello to the troublemakers, I reckon I ought to teach you about the Viper's dual blades. Our techniques were created for the sole purpose of killing Tural Vidra. Most of them are meaner varieties of things you might encounter in the wild, often with special powers to boot. Stand chance. That's actually an interesting note. Oh, I also see you guys talking in the FC. I mean, I already knew this, but Vipers. Oh no. Vidra are just. I just want to keep close tabs on Vidra stuff because I wanted to create a conversation about what they are and them versus auspices and stuff. Stand a chance of these powerful enemies. Our ancestors looked to Vipers for inspiration, always twisting and turning to find the perfect angle to attack, to take down bigger prey. 2 blades for the twin fangs of a Viper, to wield in tandem and strike with precision. They can only be combined into a single weapon. They can also be combined into a single weapon that weaves the sways like the body of a snake. By switching between these stances, the Viper has the capacity to adapt to any situation. Now, the prey we are after today ain't nowhere near as fearsome as a Tural Vidra, but they'll give you a chance to test out your new skills. Let me know when you're ready. The beasts we're chasing supposedly worked in packs. My gut tells me there's a whole bunch of them over by that big old tree. Are we going to fight by the Sultana tree? Man, I haven't spent time by the Sultan tree since. If there are any meaner beasties, they must be biding their time. All I see here is fodder. Though for practicing your new skills, they'll do fine. I'll stay out of your way and give you a few pointers. Let me know when you're ready. Let's start with the basics. There are two stances, Dual Fang and Viper. Dual Fang means wielding the two blades separately, starting by either using Steel Fangs or Reaving Fangs, then press the attack. To finish the sequence, switch back to Viper and hit him with the Death Rattle. Shouldn't the Viper be the two-sword mode? Like, because that's like the Fangs, whereas like... I mean, I guess you're like making a Viper and like flowing like a Viper. Not bad at all. These techniques are some of the most important tools in your kit. Come over here and I'll tell you about attacking from Dual Fang stance. Time to practice your Dual Fang techniques. Start with an opener, follow up with a second, then pick one of the 4 finishers. Flank Sting Strike, Flank Bang Fang, Hind Sting Strike, or Hind's Bang Fang. As you can tell by the names, each finisher works best from a certain position. Don't worry about that for now. Just give them all a try. God, I love how much Viper flows. I kind of want to make like put nothing but skill speed on all my gear and see what happens. I mean, I'm sure I'll be clipping to high hell with all sorts of issues, but it just sounds fun. Good work, Elio. Looks like you got the hang of Dual Fang stance. That was cool that you actually heard a roar. That roar just now, almost like it was telling him to clear out. I reckon there's a big old bastard waiting in the wings. Now it's sent us together, sent us tougher opposition. Fawning weird. Luckily for you, I've got just the thing for dealing with lummoxes like them. I'll tell you all about it when you're ready. It's also appropriate that they're using Weirbs since the Dopro, they're one of the beasts that specifically they take care of. They're one of the 3 mammal jaw races, clans. All right, now for Viper stance, where you combine your 2 blades into one to deliver a powerful strike, perfect for tough opponents. Open with Vice Wonder, then transition with either Twin Fang Bite or Twin Blood Bite from Dual Fang stance. Okay, I gotta go to Vice Wonder first. I love that it's a freaking GCD, 2 OGCDs flowing off of it. Oh, that's... Alright, you have the hang of Viper, I'd say. Snake Red Mage, the Red Mage. The roaring's getting closer. Boss Beast must be pissed. That's his minions keep getting beat. It's Boss Beast pissed that its minions keep getting beat. Heh, there it is. Time to take it down a peg or 3. Just remember what you're dealing with here. Ain't no pushover like the rest. Oh, hey, it's a Garou. We didn't really get much of them in the, Still, you got all the tools you need at your disposal. Well, that's where it ended up. There's also that Fate in Kozumaoka. Show it what a Viper can do. Oh, it is literally a Garou. Okay, cool. It's not like a renamed... I will not be doing positionals at first as I get used to the full flow of the class. I suppose I should just use point north. Unrelenting attacks are the key. Don't give your prey a chance to fight back. What are you, a warrior main? Some attacks work better from certain positions, so mind your footwork. Why is the first thing you show up for freaking warrior slaughter? Ah, that's funny. Slander, not slaughter. Not bad at all. Those were just the basics, but your execution was mighty impressive. Since you've proven you won't be a liability, let me tell you about the Tural Vidra we're up against. We call it... Learning pronunciation is gonna be a process. I also am trying to keep track of every name, like Turali name we get for the different cultures, and especially when they're voiced. Iksok Smajun? Smajun? I'm gonna have a hard time with that one. But red something, I believe. It's an offshoot of the brush, a deadly jungle predator, and after a series of mutations, this one's grown huge wings. Worse yet, it's smart as a whip and has a mean streak. A mom. Did they say? It says series of mutations. Oh, also, I have not finished the Viper questline. I wanted to save it for doing on the stream. So on my ult, I haven't actually finished it completely. That's like a very particular... Man, I hope we get a trial series that's like the origins of Vidrals and we find out more like where they come from and why they're unique to this, to Tural. After a series of mutations, this one's grown huge wings. Worse yet, it's smart as a whip and has a mean streak a malm wide. After learning of the beast, me and my most promising students set off to slay it. Facing it head on seemed like suicide. We laid an ambush. Almost worked, too. Almost. We thought we had subdued it, and we made our approach to deliver the killing blow, but we underestimated the fiend's cunning nature. When we got close, lashed out, lightning quick, before taking to the skies. Cradled my brother in my arms as he breathed his last. Revenge is all I've been able to think about ever since. Traveled the length and breadth of Tural looking for the beast, with nothing to show for it, but half a dozen pairs of ruined boots with each passing day. But a half a dozen pairs of ruined boots. With each passing day, I grew more and more desperate. That was until I met some folks who crossed the salt on a trade ship from Ul'dah. They claimed they'd seen a huge winged creature flying eastwards over the ocean. Knowing how clever FFXIV is, I reckoned it had gone in search of new hunting grounds, somewhere without an established threat like us Vipers. But about passage on a ship? Here I am. Little did I know Eorzean would be damn near as big as Tural. I'm a fish out of water, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Of that, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. That's where you come in. With you on my side, I might just stand a chance of avenging my fallen comrade. What do you say? Wouldn't be the first time. Thanks. That means a lot. Let's get back to Ul'dah and see what we can find, if we can find some clues about FFXIV, where FFXIV's whereabouts. I take it you're a fan of Blade's Exaltation Light. Having slight lag, but might do to watch on my phone. Don't try the expansion where the extrovert warrior of light adopts several introverts. Man, okay, I will say it. Going in, and this is a thing I feel like a little frustrated that I feel is not only like undervalued, but straight up like not it is like seen as a weakness. I adore that Dawn Trail, we are a mentor rather than the main character. Like it is, especially coming off of the back of Endwalker already being having been the warrior of light, being in a position instead to help foster others and to continue traveling the world and to aid them and foster their strengths and help them grow to be better. So they, like, I'm way more interested in those stories right now than I am in just, do they update the background PNG too? Yeah. Warrior of Light literally herding cats. Only for 2 years. I started towards the end of Shadowbringers like a few months before the WoW access and found myself. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I just noticed that specifically, not to like say that like, oh, they're all like this, but more like I've noticed that the people who joined around that time, I have noticed have a much larger amount of people who are frustrated by the patch content cadence of 14. I don't know if that's what that says. It's just interesting. Viper is a summoner of melee. It doesn't matter what you do, it works, looks cool. Does this make Red Mage the Red Mage of melee? Red Mage is the dragoon of mages as they backflip off platforms. Fair. It is also the dancer of melee. Just hit the next glowing button and you look cool. True. Blade Exaltation. We don't see much Garros in Dawn Trail because Estinian killed them all before, as shown in the trailer. Or as we saw in my alternate timeline, Estinian got by the Garros. My only issue with the off GCD finisher is it's hard to use quick enough to let the full animation play before another attack skips. It has dual sword jumping slash is cool. Sure. I mean, I also can imagine that ping is going to affect that too. But the first thing I pop in is I'm not doing positionals because I'm just calling you out, Dest. Vidra is literally, you thought having all those classic FF monsters roaming the road sucks. Why we have something much more powerful and bloodthirsty. Now kill it. Yep, I bought the digital album so I could add that Pathmaker to my workout playlist. Oh, I need to start buying the digital albums. Jeez, good to see, glad to have you. I so agree. I love getting to play a mentor role. It feels like a character growth for us. I think it's I think it gets to play into the Azem stuff. I think it gets to play into a broader context that is like, where do you go after Dawn Trail after the story is finished, and taking all the strength and the power of a character at our heights, and how do you keep it interesting? In part, making sure that we are fostering others rather than being only the linchpin. That we are the star around which things revolve, but we're helping those other things that revolve maybe around us rather than just being the motherfucking warrior of light. I think this is a good way to go. And I'm a little fearful that they did it really well in Dawn Trail, but because the people's dislike for aspects of Dawn Trail, they'll take that feedback and instead they'll go, the 8.0 will be very much a back to basics, we're the hero, thing. But I mean, usually they're pretty good about feedback and listening to people feeling negative, and instead of listening to like being like, oh, so we should get rid of X, Y, or Z, they're like, okay, people felt this way about it. How do we continue along the road we like, but also figure that we want to do, but also figure out how to address how people are feeling about it. As you saw at the Weavers Guild, chatting up the folks ain't my strong suit. If you're happy to take the lead, I'm happy to follow, at least for now. Think you could ask the locals if they spot any strange creatures flying around? As for me, I'll study your techniques and see if I can't brush up on my social graces and whatnot. I love that they feel the need to explain that every time. Like, I get I get that if someone had been playing for a while, they might need a reminder, but I wish you could have an option to stop getting that. A flying beast? Why yes, of late we've had sightings of such a creature. More and more each day. We're looking into it ourselves, but there's been no reported attacks, nor can I provide a more detailed description. As such, I can't say if it's the same one you're after. Oh, there's Necro. Yeah, when I was on the ship here, I heard about this hunt your local companies seem to be running. We've got a system like that back in Tural too, mainly for dealing with the Tural Vidra. Naturally, the bulk of the work was handled by Vipers, but ever since the Dawn Servant came to power, the scope's been expanded to cover a wider range of threats. These days, pretty much anyone can take on jobs, and there's no shortage of them all over. If you're ever in Tural, maybe you ought to give it a try. That's a cute way of explaining why hunts exist there. I did the new dungeon as a red mage. Dude, the new dungeon was fire. I like being the threatening person just watching if anyone steps out of line. Yeah. After doing the new Alliance raid, I'm now a red mage main again, maybe just for the all-AR. Dude, I played the Alliance, we did the 24-man Alliance raid with people in the T community. That was so much fun. That was amazing. It's probably it's probably my favorite combat-wise. I mean, it's hard to say because always there's the newness factor, and where my rankings for those land really is affected by time and like repeated plays. But that first run through at least was a lot of fun. Whole lot of people here. We got cities of our own back in Tural, but this is something else. You know, to become a Viper, traditionally, you've got to live in this remote village in the mountains, where you learn all you can about the habits of various beasts. Ain't much else to do out there, so anytime you get to yourself, you're expected to spend honing your skills. Once training's done, you're free to roam where you please. There ain't many Tural Vidra that need hunting, but they can spring up pretty much anywhere in Tural. So many say it's good to keep on the move. Me though, I chose to stick around even after I finished my training. Gave me a chance to work on my swordsmanship. Instead of going out looking for work, folks came straight to us instead of asking for help. See, this has some like, well, you were out chasing women, I was at home studying the blade energy. That's how I got complacent and fell into the habit of letting my elders and students do all the talking and negotiating with outsiders. Even my passage here was arranged by an acquaintance. Have you seen a giant creature around at all?
What? A winged creature? Well, I've only heard the rumors. They say it's half a dozen faces ringed with red, wriggling tentacles, and shoots beams of light from its eyes. Oh, of course, and it's all too common for those with more money than sense to bring in bizarre species from distant lands, and the trouble with rumors is that they grow even more fanciful with each retelling. Okay, something I really love is that between silty subterranean, multiple leaves, certain fates, like literally the background, there is on every map of Hydaelyn and in multiple like dungeons and places a constant repeated motif of rich people bringing in like powerful creatures that get loose. I mean, literally the mass carnival also, but like and like a lot of Colosseum creatures, but I appreciate that they are continuing that motif. Well, damned if I know how you did it, but you and your silver tongue got useful information out of folks. Even if none of it amounted to a solid lead, the knowledge of Ixok Jamajun hasn't kicked up a proper fuss yet, is a clue all in itself. I reckon it's taking its time to get into the lay of the land, having only just arrived here. Alright, now I've seen a master at work. I'm gonna try my hand at talking to the locals. Well, the best way to learn is by doing. Couldn't agree more. Besides, I've faced meaner foes than a few tight-lipped city folk. And if I make a fool of myself, so what? I'll just ask someone else. It just so happens I brought with me a whole bunch of herbs and knickknacks from back home that I can sell to keep myself fed. Might take a while to find any solid leads, but at least I can get by for the time being. So those are the ones who slew my pets. Interlopers on the hunt for my next darling prize. Little do they know its lost interest in Hydaelyn. Just as well, its fickle nature may yet bring us greater delights. Is that you, Misaja? I'll be doing my damnedest to get more information. Might take a while though, so come see me later. Don't forget to practice your Viper techniques. Viper, keep on viping. I want to vipe your windows. I wonder if it was intentional to give Wukulmat an axe, the same weapon the Cannon Warrior of Light uses in Realm Reborn. Someone has to be thinking that kind of symmetry, right? Also, I think just in general that of the jobs to like mimic that vibe for her makes the most sense. Oh, actually, I just want to take a second. I'm not gonna be back in Charlian much. Man, this was such a great A city. Also, can we just appreciate? I haven't pointing this out enough when we go along. Look at the materials. Look, the crystals actually look like crystal. Gosh darn crystals. The metals actually look like metals. Holy moly, me oh my! And now also, I have toes. I actually have toes. What even is this game?
The Aetherites got so beautiful after the graphics update, and they now act like beacons on the map, too. Like, you really can see them from far away, which is great. I think I spend a day just going around and looking at them. Yeah. Also, if you guys haven't, you should definitely check out the Footfalls in Western Hydaelyn. It looks amazing. With the 7.10 update. Also, the summer event. What about the summer event? My cousin's out fighting Tural Vidra, and what do I get? Guardian. Oh, the only thing they seem to get seemed to be forgotten fast is the fact that Turali and Eorzeans are actually two different language. But come on, ancestry from language of the ancients, maybe. Well, yeah, and I mean, to be fair, they kind of gloss over that in almost every case, anyways. Like with the way in which the first language basically became the same, or the fact that the Unlost World, the Alexandrians speak the same. What if you obviously see on the first day of the graphics update? Yeah. Summer event was about rich person from Ul'Dan escaped exiled. I know, because it had a frickin' drunk cactar. Speaking of, I need to get a barrel tender. I'm not kidding. I spent like all of last night farming orange script. And a little time in the diadem. Footballs are beautiful now, also and also fishlines. Oh yeah, because of, well, wasn't that Eastern Hydaelyn? For those who don't know, during 7.1, their graphical updates they added to the maps managed to break fishing. Okay, guys, shall we start? Shall we start Dawn Trail? Shall we get our adventures going? Can I get a little bit of energy in the chat? Can I get some gobble brooms or anything like that? Okay, that's an interesting point, David. We'll definitely talk about that when we have a second after cutscenes.
Welcome back, Elio. I just had word from Erenville. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Tural aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go inform your travel companions? It should only take a moment.
Trail, dawning trail. Well played. Kiko, good to glad to have you. The trailer. Now you guys are just doing all the different themes from the different expansions. Also, I haven't been able to use the main like my room in Sharlayan at all on Elio for a couple months because you can't talk to Ojika without starting the MSQ quest. Is green Erenville's main color? I'd say so if you look at his outfits. Yeah. I want them to up-res more of the text stuff. If I should be able to read everything that has Eorzean text on it on screen. Ojika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Erenville himself. Ah, you're all here. It looks like some persuasion, but the Gleaners Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tural. There'll be some passengers, researchers, and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share the deck space. That's fine, Erenville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. Ooh. I don't even know what I'm going to do for Wuklamok. Okay, discovering Wuklamok's voice is going to take time, so just be wary of that. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tural, yes? We've not forgotten. The nation of Tuliyollal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become Dawn Servant. In addition to that, Alfino and I have another objective. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors, which I'm so glad they did not let this go by the wayside, and I'm fine with them not having it identified during .0. It's definitely going to be relevant in the .1 through .5.
By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about how its myriad creatures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sorts of insight that might help our friends in Ilsamard. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Cryle? Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive, I found that he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. Yet oddly enough, we have no record of the investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answer right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only ones with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the Third Promise has commanded that I serve as guide. Still playing the part of stoic servant, I see. What of you? Don't dare tell me you've changed your mind. Hoist the sail and let the wind take us as she pleases. Well said. We won't go far wallowing in the shallows. Right then. If all are still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Okay, let me engage with that, David, because I think it's an interesting idea, and I want you to have time to respond. Actually, wait for them to talk to Erenville. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We're not in any danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well. Oh, does he go straight to the cutscene?
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
How's the audio, by the way?
Do not be so quick to relax. Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels.
Hey, Shade's Triangle, we'll be going there. The occult
Even
crescent.
following the safe route plotted by Admiral Bufisvin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off! It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
Follow me to Son of Fame. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go?
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kettenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
I think there's a chance Fortunal's voice, Fortunal's going to be in patch 7.2 or 0.3, or maybe even 0.4 or 0.5.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
I love that Woklamat's kind of going through the snow journey that I've wanted, which is the journey of someone who wants to be a hero but only becomes a hero once they actually give up on trying to be their idea of what a hero is. I mean, it's not literally that because it's different. It's ruler rather than hero in this case. But like, I've become quite a fan of those types of stories.
Maps! Give me maps! Yes. Yes.
Also, why are you so low resolution? I know you have a high resolution map, Yoshi P. I know it exists. I've seen it. It's real. Just put it in the game, damn it.
So far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
It's one of the few Dawntrail scenes.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
It's one of the few Dawntrail scenes I've seen a bunch of times because I used it to test a bunch of my graphical stuff. Because I got rid of any kind of reshade or anything, so I now play the game completely vanilla. Because the game actually looks good enough now that it's not.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know. Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliyollal and the right of succession.
Oh, I forgot about him. Right.
Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own.
Because I was off from working, Dawntrail's the first time that I haven't watched a bunch of the game's cutscenes on loop for work after it's come out. So I actually don't remember Dawntrail as vividly in some ways.
Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
Why didn't Tatar make his pants with the outfit? Lalafell reasons. Speaking of Mac, Browskin maps are absolutely rising in price right now. Come claim them. Yeah, so we're going to be farming, so we do map events every Thursday, so we'll be doing that. I may be late to it because I'll be doing this, obviously. But we're going to be doing Brashkin maps. We're going to be doing those for the foreseeable future because now there's an actual reason to do Dawntrail maps because the joke weapons are all, the contest weapons are all in them.
I see you in Eorzean before, you great and famous hero. Yeah, I've had enough of playing the simpleton. There was time when we took great pains to maintain deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to Tural, it's become impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen, and so we head home to lick our wounds.
Oh, I wonder if he's part of the Silver Scales. But yeah, the way that most Mammal Jaw were written, that's kind of a fun nod to the way that they were written in AR was a little bit more like Country Bumpkin. Also, why does my Mammal Jaw sound like the
Ooh, you touch my tralala guy. My ding ding dong. My Mammal Jaw.
An adventurer, I presume. I'm a merchant myself based in Ul'dah. Specialty imports and exports, Eorzean and Turali both. If this is your first crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It's not uncommon for various races to be referred to instead of by their names of certain clans, for certain races to be referred to instead by the name of their certain clans. Oh, I see what they're saying, because Hetzaro and yeah. For the Mikote, the Hetzaro, the Hrothgar, the Jabral, not because of every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind you, but because many individuals of said race are associated with the clan. As a fair assumption in certain cases. But take care not to give offense. Let me actually read. I want to read that last part again. Broadguard the Tural. Not because every member of a given clan is of the same race. Mind, but because many. But because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. Okay, that's interesting. So you by that logic, you technically could be part of the Hetzaro without being. Oh, that's actually, I'm gonna note that. You could actually technically be on a Hetzaro without being a Mikote. If I'm understanding that right. 1 second, the day is starlight, my true look. I'm told the vessel has been equipped with a barrier. I'm told the vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator protected from storms. As a reassuring thought, though, nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. It's the same barrier generator from fighting Leviathan.
Aye, did you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who will be sat next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants in the right of succession. Your young Wuklamat being one of them, of course. But from what Amamo Joblok was telling us, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the third promise.
Okay, I'm gonna lose. I don't want to lose this, so I want to engage with David's thing real quick. I think Wuklamat would have worked better if she was a Picto and a younger princess. I don't think she's already young. She's already in her very early 20s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Making her even younger, I think, would be a mistake in terms of making her then in a role of authority and leadership more awkward and weird, as opposed to having someone who is of relatively appropriate age but is not world wise. But yeah, making her magic. I'm not sure what the strength. I think making her, especially as the Vow of Resolve and not the Vow of Reason, making her a physical force, and also with her gregariousness as her strength and her desire to connect to people, I think making her a warrior, both literal and figurative in this case, is actually appropriate more so than making her a magic user. It would have worked better if she was a potential heir who didn't initially want the throne to participate. I don't know. I think the idea that I think it is more compelling personally to have someone who wants the throne, lets go of having the throne as the point, and instead connecting to her people as the point, and then finding herself the best leader because of that desire to understand and connect to her people, not just because she wants to be the ruler. I think that's better than just someone who just doesn't want to be the ruler at first. I think that the former is a more compelling narrative because it is about letting go of your concept of what the ideology should be so that you can become what it should be, as opposed to just being reluctant, you know? That's my thought. Wuklamat is all of 18. Yeah, she's very young. They do, Mikazuki, good to glad to have you. They do, I know somewhere in here, I don't know if they exactly say her age 1-to-1, but you can math out her age based on multiple events that they specify. I know that we just figured out Wuklamat's age. I don't know how I have it in my notes. I'd heard Aaronville was looking for a passage to Tuliyollal, so I managed to squeeze his party aboard one of our charted vessels. As fortune would have it, we just scheduled an expedition to Tural. This is the Lalafell from the trailer. This is the one that can't see over the steering wheel.
A story. Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Kenton Ram, you know?
Also, can we talk about how, like, Kenton Ram lore being actually really important is hilarious to me?
You know, we'll talk about it later. You're the first Eorzean to set foot on Tural almost 80 years ago. The Mamuljaw's leader is said to have welcomed Kenton Ram with open arms and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back. Potatoes, tomatoes, and corn, which spread across Eorzean like wildfire. His great adventure led to a culinary revolution. The tales say Kenton Ram returned to the Tural several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is a testimony to the ocean's peril.
I wonder if Kenton Ram... First off, Kenton Ram's got to be pushing like 110. Secondly, if he's still alive. Secondly, I wonder if he's going to have anything to do with the occult crescent. Because that would actually make sense for him to have explored that some way. Fontaine. Oh, this will be my first visit to Tural. Fontaine's the name. I was working at Steam's Aesthetics in Ul'dah, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlian, in the hopes of starting over. While I was attempting, and failing, to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard a room for another passenger had suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawn Servant welcomes all, regardless of origin, and so Tuliyollal seemed like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. I like that they established Fontaine this early. Did you learn anything of interest? Bits and bobs. Oh, I hadn't heard that about clan names. We should have Wuklamat and Erenville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin.
I feel that way, Astoria. Her being tank, framing her as a protector is absolutely intentional. And also connected to resolve. Both, like, all the tanks are tied into themes of resolve.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick.
Des, you can't do me like this.
I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many of you ever live there?
Chitona do.
The Chitona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Tural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
I wonder if we're going to meet Erenville's father in 7.x or in 8.0. Also, Puklamat is... that is some grade A punditry.
We're in the teeth of it now, lads! Reef that sail for the mast snaps!
Oh dear.
This has to be a nod to 1.0, right?
This wind's too strong to take any sound! Man falling off the mast! We need help! Get him below decks first! Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
Okay, I'm going to be bumping up the sound a little bit here. So let me know.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since.
Let me know if it's too loud.
The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself.
Oh, see, they're using corrupted crystals. We were having a conversation about this.
Our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
It's actually a cool touch because they were designed to work that way. Hey, see, that time with Leviathan mattered.
What an extraordinary life he must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
Did a lot of Leviathan EX.
Wuklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. by the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural.
They also just established that those barriers could be used against lightning. That might be important.
In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
And a beautiful motif in the song Smile. See, this is definitely an echo to 1.0 and 6.0 because this is almost the exact same shot. Dude, man, the game looks so good. I'm not even wearing armor that really shows off how good this cutscene. If you wear like current armor or like the paladin armor, this cutscene looks phenomenal. Ryan, good to glad to have you. On to a new adventure. When was the Final Fantasy XIV expansion not ominous, Infinite? Blue-footed boobies! Sky full of boobies. Really the most beautiful thing you could have.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Any of you guys played Final Fantasy 13? Well, we're almost there. Why don't you tell me a bit more about your home?
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Gosh dang it, the
Good
game looks
news
so much
indeed.
better.
If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliyollal's coasts. Come.
I ask about the Final Fantasy 13 because there's a really interesting parallel to me between Wuklama and Snow. I mean, they're not identical by any means, but there really is an interesting arc of their journey.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
That man has smoked a pack a day for 60 years and he's only 30 years old. That's the kind of sailor he is. Do you ever have a sea voyage without a storm? Is there a storm when we go to Charlian? I do love when they like replicate things, shots from the trailer.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
I love that they have like subsurface scattering for elves and the tip of elves and ears now. It's amazing. Hey, look at that hair.
Last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
Story, that's actually an amazing question. Don't. Can you be 66 now while unconscious? Luna, good to go out of you. Because I feel like probably, right? Because if it's due to your inner ear vestibular ear, presumably, right? I love this. There's something about this version of the theme that reminds me of like Pokemon music, like Jubilife City. They re-recorded Y'shtola's dialogue and the Interphos fight. That's the only things I know that they re-recorded. Yeah, Ocean was just haunted. And technically, it wasn't even Ocean was haunted. It was a specific island in the Ocean that was haunted, right? Marbles! Well, that presents to me a terrible fate where you could have seasickness while unconscious and choke on your own. Ugh, that's a bad way to go. Aspirate.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Well, there, good to go out of you.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tuliyollal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzean.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out, or...?
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Yeah. This crowd PTs.
Outsiders?
Yeah, exactly.
Visitors to Tural?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliyollal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course. Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tuliyollal.
Only a storm of emotion when you see Banana. Okay, maybe you can just knock out with sleeping potions, Pepto-Bismarck, FNR. Reminds me of the 1920s jazz music. Yep. Seems like you wouldn't need to be seasick while unconscious since your senses aren't in conflict. Oh, that's an interesting point, you're right. Wookiees re- Yeah, Voltaire, the Interphos re-record works way better, yeah. I imagine you just... Having PTSD from Charlotte. Quetzal armor offending, yeah. I mean, look, almost all the armor is great. Oh, hey, look, we got V and Laffy. What? Thanks for welcoming me to Tural, guys.
What an amazing city, as lively as Ul'dah and even more colorful. According to Erenville, the Vanu I thought I saw belonged to a clan known as the Hanu. It seems they share more than a physical resemblance. Ah, so it's nice to feel the familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make... I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers are expecting.
Also, we got a Picto and a Viper, perfect for you guys' infantry.
Well, despite some of their efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. I would ask if the journey tired you, but I'm sure you've endured far worse.
Goodberry, good to glad to have you. Hope you're having a good day too.
Right then, first things first. I'm still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the rite of succession. No arguments here. I should very much like to explore. Well then, I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so?
We're wondering for who these strangers folk were. So the third promise has found herself some new followers then.
Followers?
Wuklamat, are you unwell?
No, not at all. Could be better. The third promise does not get seasick, no sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I have recruited them to help me with the rite of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact.
Raven, thank you for the $10. Let me keep track of these so that we can keep track of our goal for getting the 1.0 version of Final Fantasy.
As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me with the rite of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're a company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. Certainly we're.
Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach.
And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please, don't ever worry that you're a brother to me.
You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise.
They did have a point. Wuklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of our station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean technically? I suggest we move into two groups, so as to attract less attention.
So how many of you guys felt super seen when Erenville basically played the Han Solo and was poking fun at Wuklamat and everything going on? I know some of you. I know some of how jaded some of you are. V.
Just technically ignoring me then. Elio, you and Krog can come with me. I'll take the twin son. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. The voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have time enough for that. Enjoy your wanderings. It's a day. I caught a cold and when you went to work and only got worse. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, hopefully you'll have at least some time to rest and enjoy some entertainment tonight. Perhaps we should wait a bit? At least until Wukulmat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Wukulmat, you know Leia, though. No, Wukulmat's, Luke. She's the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed one with her head in the stars full of, you know, energy, but also has the power to push towards a bright future, in part because of her bloodline. Well, I guess not her bloodline, just her heritage with her father, her adopted father. Tuliyollal isn't going anywhere. Let's give Wukulmat a little more time. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself. What with the cool contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Erenville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay. Mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the river from the inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Tural, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stalls in neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our next stop. Look, just because I have older sibling syndrome doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's worth pointing out that Wukulmat is the youngest sibling, right, effectively? Even if you count Erenville as one. I love everything about their relationship. It's really cute, yeah. Wukulmat ain't no Leia. Was too busy staring at Erenville trying to figure out the man's skincare routine. He's got some good skin, it's true. Staring at Erenville is a good percentage of Tongue Trail. That chocolate bun. I like Erenville teasing because he solidified the childhood friends vibe they were going for. Yeah. Yeah. There is like this tension, but also love and comfort and yeah, familiarity. How are they in the fancy Latin America and don't have some magical homemade remedy for upset stomachs? Is Wukulmat drinking any of the blood? If Wukulmat is Luke, does that make us Obi-Wan? Yes. Yes, it does. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. For sure I identified with Erenville because of the older sibling vibes he gives with the teasing and such. I think they wrote the relationship really well, yeah. Look, I am going to be critical of Dawntrail where I feel it is earned. I also am just in general more interested in celebrating, and even when being critical, being curious as to why certain choices were made and pondering on that, rather than just being like, ugh. If something about emotionally Dawntrail did not work for you, do not take anything of what I'm saying as a dismissal of that feeling. Especially because that's hard, right? Things that just don't land on an emotional level, that's alchemy more than it is science. This is Bayside Bevy, Tuliyollal's largest marketplace. Being right here on the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares goes directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh, right, I should mention that here in Tuliyollal, we buy things with Pel, a currency that the Pelu created. But don't worry, more and more traders coming from Eorzean, so most shops are happy to accept your guild. It's just like when you could use American dollars for buying stuff in Mexico, or at least when I was down there, you could. There's also What You Makey. God, that name will never ever not be funny to me. That they actually named the fucking crafters thing What You Makey. Another market to the east of here, but that can wait for another time. I have other places I want to show you first. And next we'll head back a bit, then northwards up to the stairs to a certain plaza. Can't wait to see the look on your faces. Marble has goods if you have corn. Do you have marble general shops? And people like their Is Erenville our very own house? I'm the only child, so I have no idea the relationship of siblings. I feel like if you used them as a template to try and conceptualize it, it's a good place to start. Man, you're right. Those bells are really shiny now. He's better since he's far less genocidal. sing me a song where the mobbies go wrong.
There we go.
Shop space must be tidy before box orders arrive.
Fucking love moblins.
Tabitha.
Is Mickey McCree mini beads or 1,000 beads based on Pellet grammar? I don't know enough about Pellet grammar to answer that question. You'll have to let me know if you discover an answer, AC.
What do you think of that, eh? Goodness me, you have Aetherites in Tuliyollal? I think I told you before, but my brother Kona spent 3 years studying in Hydaelyn. He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of Aetherite construction.
He did what now? When did Hydaelyn start allowing Aetherite construction know-how to be facilitated across different groups? That was like one of their big money-making methodologies. So unless Kona paid real good attention and stole it inadvertently.
He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of Aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once and had one built immediately. Did you do the tuning thing? Ooh.
Even Wukumad's out here telling me to attune.
If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the side, right at the top of the gate which leads to Jacques Tural. Let's make a stop at Bright Plume Post on the way, though. That's the headquarters for the Lance Guard.
Or Tural's considered far enough that they don't think it's a threat to their monopoly. I mean, they still control the monopoly with Thavnair, and Thavnair's not that... Thavnair is further away from the Northern Empty than Tuliyollal is. Attune! I attuned. And in fact, I'm even gonna go attune with the small one because I know I'm gonna want to come back here at some point. But they have a business relationship with Thavnair, right? But agreed. My point is that if the dissemination of Aetherite building technology was something that they were regularly willing to do, the Eorzeans almost certainly would have already done exactly what they did in Tuliyollal. So unless this was a very recent thing, where it happened, so imagine if Hydaelyn opens up, and it's been roughly at least 6 months since, I forget if it was Yoshi P or where it was stated, but somewhere it was implied that it's been about 6 months since 6.0, and I think either 6.1 or 6.5, I forget what. But so let's say it's been roughly 6 months since the end of 6.0, and it happened since Hydaelyn opened up at that time. That would make sense. That I can get behind. But it just doesn't make any sense to me that they would have disseminated that technology, that no understanding willingly when they kept it so close to their chest for so long. I'm willing to believe that the average Hydaelyn would find guacamole spicy. Correct. I'm surprised they can even handle coffee, honestly. Wait, there's a summoning bell over by the... Oh, right, because it's why What You Makey Makey. I haven't actually done any of the What You Makey Makey quests on Len, so I'm very excited to start doing them. That or they have cilantro gene. I got the cilantro gene. Since he was a student of Studium along with being royalty, he probably paid royalties.
We have a lot of narrow, winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, through the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. From this Crafting Gathering role quest unlocked, we learned that What You Makey means House of Countless Beads. In regards to the question, not sure about the inner grammatical workings. Yeah, I'm sure we could try to piece it together. But I'm gonna get that copied down. House of Count. Wachupello is house. So Wachu means house. So Makey, maybe the repetition of it. So I'm assuming Makey is beads. Anybody else feel like this reminds me of San Francisco for some reason? Actually, you know what? This reminds me of San Juan. When me and V were walking around San Juan earlier this year,
there were some steep places like this. Elio, I'm so sorry. Dr. Relish, good to see you, glad to have you. It's possible Kona brokered a deal of some kind. Yeah, look, I'm not like, oh, it's impossible. What I'm curious about is that if I can place where the timeline of Kona returning from Sharlayan, it would help facilitate a better understanding of how that information was gotten across. Because, like, what you have to understand is, like, literally for Sharlayan, for, like, the past, for the past couple hundred years, one of their primary ways of accruing wealth was the creation of Aetheryte technology and selling it and distributing it to other peoples. So, like, for them to have easily given up on that is, you know what? Here, I get to use my new bookshelf. I've got a bookshelf off to the left here. I mean, floating shelves with a bunch of books on it. I'm curious if E3 has a small section about should be Confluence. The research facility is known for deciphering the underlying principles of Allagan Aetherites and reconstructing the ancient technology from modern age. In addition to the production of replacement parts, researchers here are also developing new experimental types of Aetherites. No, nothing interesting about maybe how things might have changed. Since YouTube, we're contractually obligated to say like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Rare. I can't hear Kona without thinking about Kona, like the coffee. I know that was a coffee. Me a Floridian. What is a mountain? Dude, I was driving in Florida. Why was I in Florida? Oh, right. I have a family reunion during the summer. I think and man, it's just so flat out there. It's crazy. Especially now that I'm living out in the mountains in New Hampshire. The juxtaposition's insane. Here we are, Bright Bloom Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tuliyollal and preserving the peace. The Landsguard are led by our nation's strongest warriors, and so naturally Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago, when Zeralja took over as commander. Oh, okay, I'm gonna start building. I've already written this down, but I'm gonna do it a second time. 3 years ago, Zeralja takes over as commander. Time stuff. What's interesting about this is, based off of some other comments, it seems like 3 years, that would imply that he took over sometime basically sometime during A Realm Reborn, either at its beginning or end. At least until 3 years ago, when Zeralja took over as commander. The title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Well, that's an interesting setup. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to... Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alfino and Alice should be around to hear it too. I'd also like to point out my theory about the weaknesses of each of the vows kind of actually holds up. The thing that's important is that, like, Wukalan may not be the strongest, but her power coming from her own strength and resolve, mixed with her ability to unify others, is insanely important for Tuliyollal, right? You are a coalition. You cannot just have a strong leader. It is not enough. You need a leader that can unify the people, or it will all fall apart. It is a coalition. It must have someone to unify them. Come on, it's time I showed you to the Sky Gate. It's right at the northern end of Talon March. You guys be interested in a short story about Kona on the Lone Stone? Absolutely. I mean, I'd be interested in a short story just about anything. Hope it hasn't. I gotta get going. Have a good one, Deathberry. I hope you were able to rejoin. I hope you feel better. Saying something in American, I guess. When was the last time there was four whole Aetherites in one zone? 4 whole Aetherites. Yeah, you got Kozumauka. I mean, to be fair, it was 3 until Doc Poga got added with this patch, which is a new thing, right? Historically, they've never added a Aetherite or a in a patch, I don't think. Because the only one I can think of is the Namazu one. But I'm fairly certain on 4.0 release, this was technically already here. I may be wrong. Someone please check me on that. But Tuliyollal, I'm pretty sure you could actually find the Aetheryte structure already there. Whereas like this edition one, I think is the first time that's happened. Cause like the Doman Enclave was a brand new place. The area was there, but the wasn't. Shizukan, you're saying that Tuliyollal on 4.0 release, the crystal wasn't there? Okay, so it's not the first time. It's interesting to me then that they didn't create a crystal for places like, I guess it makes plenty of sense for, let's see. Wait, why can't I click on those? Oh, there it is. Palkistan. Because you already, like, the central, or not literally Pakistan, but the, because this is already right by an Aetheryte. And then so is the dwarves and Shadowbringers. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It's my favorite place! Massive, isn't it? And on the outside is an equally massive bridge too to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yokui. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Tural, the southern lands of the mother, and Tural, the northern lands of the father. I didn't oh, okay, actually, I didn't catch that the first time around that those were mother and father terms. Do we have any confirmation that Yak and Zhak are mother and father? Do we see that anywhere else? Legend says it used to be one great landmass, but long ago, long ago, the two gods fought in a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. I really love the idea and hope that this is that the Stardust Rend, this is what I call it, it was caused by the Sundering. I love that idea so much, and I really hope that's the case. A familiar sounding tale. I'm put in mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiar. Also, because she didn't say the name of the bridge, this bridge is Zorgor the Boundless. But getting back to Tural, those lands are also part of Tuliyollal's nation, correct? That's right. It's my father's. Isn't my father incredible? He united the people of two continents into a single nation. Many clans of Tural have been on war for generations. It's only when Papa traveled to the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Crossing the bridge of Tural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the rite of succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. I wish we could go there. I may want to go there now, but I'll hold you to that. I've never broken my word. Once the throne is mine, the travel permit is yours. Infinite, if there is not a variant dungeon, or part of the MSQ where we do not dive into the Stardust Rend at some point, I consider a Dawn Trail to be a failure. Obviously, I'm kidding. But also, I'm serious. But obviously, I'm kidding. But also, I'm serious. But I'm kidding. But I'm serious. But I'm kidding. Am I? We must have covered half the city by now. Tuliyollal is unlike any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Well, we'll head west next, towards the Arch of the Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles, too. Tuliyollal certainly doesn't want for the methods of travel. We get by them. Now, if you've seen enough of the area, let me know, and we'll continue on. I need someone to say the name of the bridge. My apologies, sir, but passage here is prohibited without express permission. Someone say the name of the bridge!
The Archon is on the other side of the city, so speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk.
When you're right, you're right. Dawn Vigil or bust. Okay, I think a Dawn Vigil variant dungeon makes a ton of sense. If we never actually Gelmora variant dungeon, secret Mobby Gobby City, especially with all the 11 stuff we're doing, if we don't get to Mobby Gobby City as a variant dungeon in this expansion, I'd be pretty surprised because it'd make so much sense. Because if you those don't know, in Final Fantasy 11 there was a secret. I mean, there was a zone that was a goblin city. Also sounds like the Dust Mother and Dawnfather, yeah. Well, it's interesting because the Dust Mother and Dawnfather, it's not clear how much that ties in for this Hydaelyn Zodiarch versus tying into the Dawn and Duskworm, Tiamat and Bahamut. Zorgor the Boundless. We better go to the chasm at some point. I mean, we have to go into the Stardust Rend, right? Also, again, it's not actually called the Stardust Rend. I just call it that because it's in the Stardust Sea, and it's a giant rend through the world. Technically, you could call it the Fathomless Rend because it goes out into the Fathomless Sea. Oh, you know what? Oh, I forgot to put in my code. I should have put in my code for the statue so I could do the emote.
I'm still struggling to conceive of how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of Yokui Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Jacques Tural to appease the gods who slumber in the Great Ocean Trench. Come on, appease the god who slumbers in the Great Ocean Trench. There's just something down.
Hear me out. No spoilers, but for those of you who have played 7.1, think about putting souls into something of power, be it a creature or a mechanism or an entity or deity, putting human souls into it. All I'm saying is that there's something down there and it's going to be relevant at some point. I don't know if it's MSQ, I don't know if it's Trial Series, I don't know if it's Variant Dungeon, but it's going to be relevant. That slumbers in the trench that the Yokui attempted to appease. That or it'll just be in Manderville. I mean, heck, we did see I haven't done the Manderville quest, but there was that bridge image. After the Yokui withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries. So when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the center of Tural. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the house they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Battle on the biggest bridge, yeah. Speaking of houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tuliyollal. We'll climb these set of stairs here all the way up. Ukulele is, which is 10 times better, yeah. I say nuke the trench just to be safe. That or you just make it stronger. You know what happens when you nuke Godzilla. Yeah, people have been using the water can. V, you want to explain how crazy you've been going because of all the people who just been doing the drink shaker emote infinitely? Why not a portal? A portal could make sense, Shane. Yeah, if especially with the Yokui and later revelations. There being some sort of rift in the bottom of it that connects to the 13th or another reflection. That'd be an interesting idea. Elio, you said you haven't done the Crafting Gathering world quest, right? In the Love the Working Weaver Kraber world quest, they do mention a myth about a lost underground mobby city. Let's fucking go! Oh my god, I have so much more room to actually walk around and stop. Yeah, baby! Oh god! I forgot I don't have a bed. I do not have a bed anymore to I don't have a bed anymore to leap onto. Maybe I need to go like put a bed or something, or like at least a crash pad over there so I can just like dive. Is shaking the new sweeping? Yeah. Okay, Luna, I definitely gotta do that. Okay. We're getting the Mobby City, let's go. It's me, Mobby. 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 Okay, I need to commission art of Mobio. It's just the Moblin Goblin. Or Moblin Goblin. The Moblin Goblin Mobio.
Olton Movalopolis. Oldton Movalopolis is the Gubby's name. Subterranean city of Movalopolis was dug and built by the tribe of goblins referred to as the Moblins. Due to the nomadic nature of most goblins, it is extremely rare for any of the beastmen to reside together in one place, making their community unique. The Moblins are known for their exceptional smithing and alchemy skills. Their achievements include complex drilling apparatuses, floodlights, as well as several advancements in exotic fields such as bionics. There's even rumor that their ability in these areas matches or exceeds those of the scientists in Bastuk. So, and they also, in A Realm Reborn lore, established that there was a secret goblin city, and that's maybe where they went during their exodus, where they were disappeared during the calamities. Someone get that boy a trip. Papa's palace is called Baluk Shunsa, which really translates. I need to write down every word I find so that I can try to make some kind of speech guide. Words, meaning. Baluk Shunsa. Invincible resilience. You probably won't want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. Also, okay, question, Luna. You, like, your screenshots, I know you have those to be able to search, which is one thing, but, like, do you, like, how do you remember all these things? Because you remember a lot of the, like, lore bits and details that I've been struggling to remember of late. And is it just recency and replaying a lot and a lot of focus? And maybe I just need to actually, start actually healing my brain and practicing remembering things and actually work on my focus and actually work on actively containing that information in my head and not doing other things and devoting my entirety of my life into this one and only thing, and that is to research and understand the lore of this game to an exceptional amount, the likes of which that nobody can possibly understand. Or should I have a life? The sheer scale of this place is incredible. I wonder what that carving at the top represents. I'm gonna go with it represents a bird. How do you get the shaker emote anyways? Only done the MSQ and the Panda vlog. I'm the same as you, like, I have no idea. It's Gold Saucer? Okay. Of course, right after they take away Fall Guys, too. For shame. Have a good one, Dez. Volok is an attack Zeralja can do. I'm assuming Volok means resilience then, because the resilient sun. Let me write that down, actually. Good call out, AC. So this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Oh, we have residents from the Tural clans, Mamulja, Jibral, Pelupelu, Moblin, Hanuhanu. We also have Tonawata, Hatsaro, and Chitona, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Shak Tural. In essence, it's gathering of people from every corner of the Tural. A true representation of Tuliyollal's diverse character. The adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's all so beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come, we continue down the stairs. He's drawing a little Mamulja. Oh, he's very good. Oh, I did the Crafting Gathering World Quest recently, and I came back to the game just before Endwalker's release and had to catch up from both Aero. So it's a more fresh moment. That makes sense. I've backloaded my brain with too much cruft from old things. But like with everyone, something sticks and some things don't. Yeah, this is why I rely on talking to you guys for stuff. Lore Book Club, by the way, is going to be great this week for talking about 7.1. Speaking of which, if you want to join us for community events, you can join us at discord.gg/Eorzean Archives, where we do things like map nights, mount farming nights, Lore Book Club every Friday if you want to just talk about lore and all the goodies in Final Fantasy XIV. And it's also just a generally good place to socialize. Damn, good to see, glad to have you. The big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Landsguard's return from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin. Earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. I've never seen such an enormous drum. What would one even use to beat such an instrument? I mean, it's funny that I think of Japanese writers writing this when, one, have you seen the bells in Shinto shrines? Or Buddhist shrines? I forget if they're, I think it might be Buddhist shrines, might be both. And also Taiko. If you enjoy the stream and aren't a member of Discord, might come join us at discord.gg/shares and archives. Thank you, Ray. Oh, lore book is fire. Is gonna look. Yeah, lore book club is gonna be fire. All right, we need to do a shitload of maps for the weapons because yes, so we are probably gonna be exclusively doing Dawn Trail maps for the foreseeable future with everybody because everybody wants the weapons and also we can make a decent sum of money off of them. So yeah, assume that we will be doing Dawn Trail maps for the foreseeable future. Hey, can I get a check? What time does map starts EST? Welcome. If an alpaca you need, then you look no further. What is the... Welcome. If it's an alpaca... I want to kind of do Tobly. Yes. Welcome. If it's an alpaca you need, then look no further. Before we get you settled up, I'll need to add your name to our register. It makes things smoother the next time you need a ride. Map nights. Yeah, we have map nights every Thursday. Yeah, you can sign up for events at any time over on our Discord. 6 or 7. Okay, cool. We'll see where we end tonight. I'm thinking what we'll probably do is maybe get to Kozumaoka, then end. Because I want to start with Kozumaoka. Does anyone have an argument for why to start with Urkopacha over Kozumaoka? Because I feel very firmly that Kozumaoka then Urkopacha is the better way to go. But yeah. And here's our dirigible. Not bad, eh? I hear other nations who use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in Tuliyollal. We have them for the exact same reasons as the Aetherites. Kona brought back the plans from Charlian, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Okay. This is interesting. Huh. I would love to hear the story of how Kona was given that. Because that seems weird for Charlian to have done that. I'm glad they did, but... So presumably, based on the timeline as we understand it, this means that he would have come back and been brought this stuff back about right around the time ARR starts, or maybe right after ARR ends. Like a 2.0, not 2.x. Since that time, we've added flights to our other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Arch of the Dawn awaits. Oh, right. My work from home late day, so I don't get off work till then. Oh, okay. Well, Tam, we should consider running an earlier day. I'm sure V or any of you, the regular maps people, any of you guys have a particularly strong desire to maybe hold an earlier map day or something, or map time as well. I know some of you guys were aching for doing more maps. I'm in dire need of Crepe to justify pulling 6 other people to Oceania to do maps together to get shared possible weapon cover. Okay, hear me out though, Infinite. What if you just came to Crystal and said, oh wait, no, wait. Can you come to Crystal or can we only go to Oceania? Isn't that how it works? It's only one way. My reason would be to do the dungeon 1 second. That makes sense, however, don't you do it, because you don't do Kozumaoka then do the dungeon. You do Kozumaoka and Urkopacha and then do the dungeon afterwards, right? Maybe just pull the Raha. See, that's one interpretation, Tam. Also, that doesn't sound super Kona-like. And the Euro peoples could come. Okay, maybe we'll have to plan that. We'll figure out a Euro plan. This is the Arch of the Dawn. When the Giants were still here, it was known as the Tural Landgate, but when Papa founded Tuliyollal, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Though, through the gate is Kozumaoka, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the Rite of Succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Kozumaoka. The name alone is intriguing. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? Llama! Here a llama, there a llama, everywhere a llama, 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 duck. I mean, just... I need to stop calling them llamas. I keep doing that every time they're alpacas. Ah, those are alpacas. Fearsome four-legged fiends. Fearsome. They seem quite placid to me. Oh, Cryle. You'll learn soon enough, Cryle. You'll learn soon enough. But forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. Yeah. Okay. We'll figure it out, Infinite. Yeah. Okay. We'll create a. We'll figure out a day, and V might be in a meeting right now. But whether or not V can run it, we'll figure out someone to run it. Yeah, Crepe might be interested. I know the problem is that Crepe's got university right now, so Crepe's a little bit busy. That's why he's been a little bit quiet lately. Are these pillars what Wukama wanted to show us? If you wish to learn the history of Tuliyollal, then look no further. These stone pillars, you mean? Heh, this spot captured Kryle's attention. What is special about these pillars, if I may ask? At a glance, they might look like ordinary stone decorations, but if you take a really good look, you'll see there's something much more interesting. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty fighter registrations. Well, at least they warned me. Alpacas are much nicer than llamas. Dude, I love this like chill version of Dawn Chill theme. It's also very like sad though. Does everyone else find it like wistful, happy, and sad at the same time? Rising. Pictures. Wait, no. These are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed mammal jaw. Oh, then this must be... That's right. It follows the exploits of my father, Galul Jaja, and his journey to unite our lands. We call it the Tuliyollal saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn how Tuliyollal came to be. Study them as long as you like. Okay, I'm kind of starting to relax into a Wukama voice. One thing that's funny to me about it though is that what her voice is that I'm doing, I'm not saying it's accurate, but is Erenville's Icelandic accent, but spoken like an American. The pillars tells the lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer, Kenton something. I can never remember the name. That's such a good one. Literally, Kenton Ram tried to get Tural named to Kenton Land, like just because he wanted people to remember his name. You mean Kenton Ram? Ah, that's the one, Kenton Ram. Kenton Ram's arrival in Tural is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said that the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit, if not in blood, but no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Kenton Ram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzean as well. The records say he traveled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it was assumed he was lost at sea. The Lay of Reed. Here we are, the Lay of Reeds. This is the story of when Papa visited the Hanu in their village in Kozumauka. Ah, the people of Alfino almost mistook for Vanu, if not for the colorful plumage. He spent a fair bit of time in among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so it's not surprising he took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are a bright and cheerful sort. They hold this one festival every year. Very famous. A lot of fun. That won't be relevant. This one recounts the lay of our past. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of Jabral, like me. For decades, Jabral and Mamulja were at war for control of the forests of Hydaelyn. The actions Papa took to end the conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tuliyollal. There is a clan of Hrothgar in Bosnia known as the Hydaelyns, and their society, the women rule as queens, and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tural, Zdrubal men and women appear to be equal status. How dramatically cultures can vary with location.
That was definitely a call out to the player base.
Let's see. This one is the Lay of the Pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozimauka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Clearly, the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts.
Calling it the lay of something when it's not about someone or thing dying is kind of an odd coming from a Norse mythology background. Interesting.
To be fair, it is about someone. It's about Tuliyollal, right? It's about his story and his epic, the Tuliyollal saga, right? They even use the term saga, right? And then on top of that, one day Tuliyollal will be gone. He will be dead, and it will be in his memory too. So there's a thought, Ryan. If you're done with the first half, we can move to the second half.
I think it's a little odd that none of the right of the Jacques Tural, even though there are cultures in the Hetzar to learn about. It's an interesting point. Yeah, we should talk more about that as we go along. It's a really good point. Also, John John music is on point. Okay, I want to say something that I love Smile. I'm also a huge musical theater nerd. I also think it's brilliant that Smile has aspects of it that distinct musical aspects that are similar to Broadway, because like it's the Americas. Like that is one of the most powerful. Like I think as Americans sometimes we don't realize this, but like one of the most powerful musical traditions we have is like musicals as they are now. Like, you think about the, like, legacy of opera. You think the legacy of, just as an example, right? Obviously, we also have legacy of rock and other things, but like, yeah, anyways.
The Lay of Gold. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Pelu Pelu, whose homeland is in Urkelpacha. Having created our currency, the Pelu Pelu are rightfully known as the Merchants Clan. They oversee Tuliyollal's markets, and their traveling peddlers are a common sight, no matter where you go in Tural. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks, they're clever and calculating traitors. The Lay of Ice. Oh, this one is my favorite. The Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle with the legendary Tural Vidral, Valley Garmanda. I should explain. A Tural Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to preternatural powers. Tataru described the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomena? I'm so glad. Okay, here's something I don't think Dawntrail gets enough love for. Dawntrail does a phenomenal job at connecting old lore. Like all of Endwalker did this, Shadowbringers, but like having characters make idle comments for things that they were around for or know about that connect into, and if you know about events or have played content or have thoughts, you're like, it's kind of like auspices. Having Kryl say that, like, it's good shit. Like they take account for all of their lore and all of their information. And like it's not just each expansion is isolated and doing its own thing. It's all tied together. Valley Garmanda itself was dubbed the Sky Rune, a named urn from the destruction and terror it visited upon Tural every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 years ago or so, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Urkelpacha Mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valley Garmanda is also a symbol of power, and why you'll see its likeness of Tuliyollal's national emblem and adorning the banners of the palace. I don't know if I just forgot that, but I was wondering before Dawntrail came out, like all the bird imagery, I was like, is this supposed to be Valley Garmanda imagery? Makes sense. So many good relevant callbacks, yeah. Two gods fought, wow, just like Zodiac and Hydaelyn. Animals get strong, wow, like auspices, yeah. Dawntrail has great world building, yeah. I feel Dawntrail does not get enough credit for its strengths. At least from what I've read. To be fair, I'm a little disengaged from, one, Reddit, Twitter, and even YouTube are not necessarily indicative of the actual general player base's vibes or feels, no matter how much people think they are. Even the forum isn't. However, like,
I feel like there are strengths that are missed over. Yeah. Are the auspices those stronger in spiritual power? I don't know. I would, based on the fights against Byakko, Suzaku, and Genbu, and Seiryu, I would say Valigarmanda, to me, compared to at least the 4 lords, is more powerful. Now, if you're talking about, what's his face? The Kirin. I'm forgetting his name. The Kirin, locked away that had fallen to his Aramitama. Maybe. But, yeah. I find it interesting that Gluojaja's just powerful attack is called the Saga of Dawn and Duty. As if headstones, but made before his death. Yeah. Called Delay of something when it's not... Oh, yeah. We're back. Delay of Proof.
Ah, Delay of Proof. The big fellow is one of the Yokui, the largest of Tural's people. These giants once used their giant size and strength to establish a dominion encompassing all of Tural. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northward, setting their sights on Tural. You'll recall the massive bridge they built beyond the Skygate. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned their lands they had conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Urkopacha. I've never even seen any of their kind, so much as set foot in the city. I want to read. These giants once used their great size established dominion encompassing all of Tural, having brought the southern reaches to the sites of Tural.
Well, I mean, Tural, they had the sickness, so that was...
This was the people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their place in Turali history?
Koryu, thank you. I could not remember Koryu's name. Because they probably would have named him Kirin, because those were the 5 lords in 11, right? But then Kirin had already been used for the mount. Which, it is funny that the model for Koryu is also the use of Kirin, so.
Oh, this one is unmarked. Papa says he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliyollal's history, whatever that might be.
Is that a big bridge? Yeah, a battle's coming on the big bridge. On Zorgor, the Boundless. Damn! Thank you for your membership. Enjoy 26 months. Oh my god, have we been... Des, I don't know if you're still around, but you remember when you said it hasn't actually been 3 years since we've been doing this? It has. I keep thinking like, well, you know, it's weird that I don't remember aspects of replaying Realm Reborn. I haven't replayed Realm Reborn in over 2 years now. Only one thing to do. Once we finish 7.0, I've got to replay the entirety of the MSQ. That's, you know, basically every time we catch up with the current expansion, we just restart streaming the whole thing over again.
Add your fill of history, then.
Infinite, thank you for your 19 months of membership. Enjoy your emotes. Gobble Burms! V, enjoy your 28 months of membership. Ryan, enjoy your 27 months of membership. Enjoy all your Gobby Booms.
Glad to hear it.
You know, I feel awful. Infinite, you're one of the youngest of us, aren't you?
You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprise there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while. But now I think I'm ready to eat again. So let's go and have ourselves a bite at a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that.
Tsukiyomi was a primal in the traditional sense, not an auspice, right? Correct. She is a primal in the same sense that Shiva or even Hydaelyn would be a primal. Yeah. Tsukiyomi was summoned from the mirror shield, I think. Tsukiyomi was not summoned from within the mirror. The mirror was a source of faith and concentration of aether and power used to help her embody her conception of the god. Literally, that mirror is just a source of aether and prayer and faith. And the A crystals that are there as well, she draws from that are in the chests. But she is effectively doing what Ysayle does when she summons Shiva. And you are ancient. I'm not that old. I'm still 20. I'm still in my 20s for a little bit longer. I couldn't possibly have been around for your ARR stuff since, if I recall, the first time I saw your stream was when I showed up in the background and Sea of Clouds in a Vanu suit doing the moonlit. Wait, is that true? Is that the first time you came in? That's so funny.
What a lovely establishment. I'm reminded of the Bismarck Leminsa.
Nuray over here just like, children know nothing.
What there's a line from, I think, the second book in the Inheritance cycle was, I was ancient. No, maybe it's the third one. It's,
I was ancient before you were born.
shame we couldn't fight Amaterasu. Hey, never say never. We could always go to Bugyo and maybe something shows up there. Have you ever had tacos? They're a Tuliyollal classic. You bake up a bunch of crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. Lots of shops and stalls sell them. But I like how they're made here at Jabal Yavti at best. And now I need one right in front of me. Right now! Let's head downstairs and place an order with old Brook Evu. Dude, Brook Evu! Oh, my boy! Oh my god. Okami was a weird game. Okami was an amazing game. Okami's a phenomenal game. I wouldn't want to fight Amaterasu, she pee on us. See, okay, Okami is only weird in the way that, like, Japanese humor and Japanese folk tales are weird. It's like saying the Bible's weird, which you're not wrong, but also, like, context, the level of weirdness varies based off of cultural context. Have you ever got tacos? Yes, I once fought 2 of them, Ruby and Emerald. It is Beat the Heart of Sabik. It's a great song, and it has, I'm peeking, and you do not yell into the mic. It is a great song with fucking rad-ass lyrics, and all of y'all are memeing.
Beat the heart of Sabik, the heart of Sabik, the heart of Sabik. Yeah.
Witness, come Ultima. Witness destruction, rend the shield of light. Destruction, salvation, Ultima. Man, now I want tacos. V, how far away is the taco place?
Every dish looks delicious. At the risk of sounding like Wuklamat, the mere sight of so much fine cuisine is making me ravenous.
Whose heart? Sabik's heart.
Brook Evo! My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Did you hear the Silver Scares are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
That may have been my fault. I love that they bring up that the Silver Scales, that the frickin' Wanderer's Palace Hard actually being relevant is kind of actually amazing. For those of you who don't remember, the Silver Scares attacked Wanderer's Palace hard and started enslaving the Tomberries because they were trying to conquer land and get renown. And you kill not only the warband, but you also kill their leader, Shimon Jaja, one of the few blessed siblings. Also, request: if anyone here knows at any point where names or words of any people in Tural are said out in voiced cutscenes, let me know. I'm trying to collect a whole list of all of them so I can create a pronunciation guide. Manchamo Mola. See, it was the Mola that I can remember. Yeah, Manchamo Mola Jaja. Yeah. I did Wanderer's Palace hard on Elio, right? At least once.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
Nuray points out that we didn't kill him, the Tomberries did. Which, you're not wrong. You are correct.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale, like our skeptical Erinville.
Can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Most Tomberries were pissed. Are we back?
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils. Oh,
Hey man, you better pay me back to those tacos someday. Oh, be cool, Jaja.
If it isn't the third promise.
what the?
Not the tacos.
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us. Such an honor.
Glory on your name, brother.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
All peoples are equal in Tuliyollal. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Wise, Kryle.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Wait, the heads aren't voiced by different, or is that the same voice actor?
Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Did an amazing job.
Listen to me, you.
That'd be so fun. They are different? Okay. Well, wait, Infinite, are you...
Two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
May have needed one or two.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
The palace it is. I'll let Wuklamart know. Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
So it goes.
I mean, the same voice, similar voice boxes, but I mean, honestly, identical. I mean, small changes can be. But yeah, can I get confirmation? Can one of you guys figure it out, like, if it is one voice actor, two? If it's one, he does a great job. One makes sense, though, in terms of, like, cost. Hey, look at that. Wait, wasn't chat? I was looking forward to trying some authentic Tuliyollal cuisines, but we should hurry and join Alfino and the others at the palace. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up to the Resplendent Quarter, or even the eastern side of Talon March if you prefer. Now that you have an idea of how the city's laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Volok Shunsa. Wait, is that's the palace, right? That's the... Yeah, Volok Shunsa is invincibility, resilience, invincible... yeah, invincible resilience. He just definitely won. Okay, cool. Bakul Jaja is only one actor. I will say, I find Bakul Jaja in these cutscenes not just like, oh, because I understand his context and strategy. Yes, all that. I specifically find him more compelling this time around in less statutorily because if you look at his lines, the specific things that he is dickish about are not just general dickishness. They are actually very specific things he is being dickish about, and they are tied not just very specifically to his general context, but kind of what he has to be a part of, what he has to believe in, what he has to embody. And that specificity, I think, for me, improves him a second time around. Because I will say, for me, Bakul Jaja, I love him in the back half. I like him as an antagonist in the first half. The turn is a little quick for me. But yeah, foreshadowing is an narrative device in which, yeah. My poor belly. It's not like that necessarily, generally, there's anything new that's revealed. It's not there's anything like more generally like yeah, no, none of that's super new or surprising to me, but it does, I find it a little bit more interesting at least, or I find it less, his dickishness less grating because there's a specificity to it. Am I going crazy? I feel like the text never used to look like this. I feel like they changed the font or something, or am I going crazy? What do you mean I didn't attune to the only one that was actually... Oh, god damn it. It could be that they changed the text and also you're going crazy. I mean, look, none of us would be surprised by that, right? Oh, hey, weird question. So, NVIDIA comes now with native, like, slight tweakers that you can do that are, like, built into the their overlay in the game. I don't know what Yoshi P thinks about them because this is a weird, because technically the game has, this is just, I don't know what it is. Anyways, but so question, can you guys see any difference in the game when I press this button? That's is off, this is on. Off, on. What I did is it's literally just like a bump of like 5% saturation and like 5% sharpness, and it like literally solved all the issues with their anti-aliasing, because the AMD anti-aliasing sucks, but it's the only way to get the sharpness to work, and the natural NVIDIA FSS like works really well, but it doesn't have enough. The sharpness is not quite enough, and so far away things get a little blurry. Don't notice it? Yeah. Okay. It's really subtle, but if you, and maybe it's just because I stare at screens all day and do video editing, so I'm like really detail oriented. But like, yeah, maybe if I like stare at a wall. Yeah, it doesn't really show well here. Mare Lamentorum is one place actually where it shows up pretty starkly, at least to me. It's also, the other thing is that the YouTube compression probably means that you guys can't see any of it anyways. Can we talk about the real problem, 7.1? They nerfed ground tilting. It's probably one of the bottom mounts. They nerfed, oh, but I love the tilting. Also, they said they were implementing it on players. I literally see no tilting at all whatsoever. And I checked to make sure that the setting's on, but like, nothing. Not even a little bit. Like I've turned it on and off and like tried it back and forth to try and see if there was anything. Am I going crazy? Can I, like, someone confirm that they're, like, am I like just not looking at something? How many Vidral? Can I get a check on a price check on Isle Vidral? How many do we know about? Currently, I can name 3, but that's also I haven't done the rule quests and all the other ones, so I haven't. With the totems, obviously, there's going to be more. But there's 3 that at least that we fight. Do you have a better feel for the city now? There are so many narrow, winding streets, but even if you get lost, all you have to do is keep heading up, and you'll arrive at a palace eventually. We saw a 2-headed mammal jaw on our way here, another claimant in the right of succession, according to Arendelle. The food is amazing. A passing mammal jaw let us try a fruit called a cherry moye, and it was just sublime. Does the super fate count? Let me recheck lore. Yeah. 7 or 8. High speeds if you leave the camera locked behind your back. Oh, I see. You do like kind of like slowly move into it rather than just like, they could make that a lot stronger. You made it. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted coldberry, but the contest won't wait forever. What do you guys think I should do for glamour while we go through? I say what I should do is off stream I'll farm up all the other dungeon glams as we go through, and I'll wear the dungeon glam until maybe the next dungeon, because we obviously can't wear them until we have to wear them until or something like that. Ooh, that looks appropriate. For now, let's I'll keep this and see how that goes. I'm not sure the super fate serpent is a patrol. Oh yeah, and the one in Shaloni. Yeah. 1 for each rogue quest, 1 from Viper, 2 from MSQ, and then 1 from the super fate. The real question is, can we call the other super fate boss in Electra? Cup thorium set. Is that the one I just put on? Or is that a meme set and you're making fun of me? No, it's a snow cotton tunic.
I've acquired the twins with the city as best acquainted the twins with the city as best I can, and I cut short amount of time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably, something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. It was like herding a pair of unruly curls. $96 crafted. Okay. I understand that all too well. Charlene's had the same effect on me. Right then. Now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I am home, and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Yep, not wrong, AC. I don't know why it's only just occurred to me how ADHD coded Bookleman is. There's our boy!
Estinian? When did he get here?
He was always here, Alfino.
What's the point? Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunpurge to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
Man, Tuliyollal is a badass. Even its shade is powerful enough to kick ass. I love how the word lights just like, I'm interested.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter.
Oh.
Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that man there.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
But when will you go north, and when will you go south?
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
Gosh, metals looks so much better. I will not get over it.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
It's all relative, AC. Depends on where you're starting from. What, east, west, west.
When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solonesh.
It's Erenville now.
Oh, he was gonna say Alneshbia.
I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! All-tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once. Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends. The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Sorolja. The second promise, Ona. The third promise, Uklamat.
Will Jaja probably push in 110, somewhere between 100 and 120, probably.
And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakun Jaja. You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away, and it is time I yield my position. But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyollal is young, and so I look to the always for inspiration. The right of succession, the means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyollal I built is a nation of many peoples.
It's so...
Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all.
It's so impressive to me that they managed to synthesize and find a way to have, like, how to figure out how to have the Golden Throne, the autarch, and the established lore work and make sense. Like, what the new stuff they want to do and the old stuff, and make it, like, actually make all sense to put together.
So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Now you have us to compete against. Though it seems the one head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Zeralja's Tuliyollal look is a good look, man.
Our brother was in Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral.
They're talking about Yue Iwata. So Yue Iwata definitely happened like very recently.
Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Tural and find the City of Gold.
And good to go out of you.
If I may, Father.
They're really good about Chekhov's gun in this game, man.
Speed,
I'll tell you what,
Lorna.
people undervalue and underestimate how much they set shit up
The
way in
Golden
advance.
City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact.
Chekhov's Vidra.
If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
I offer us proof, my unbroken word, for I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
They really used the whole story, Buffalo.
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyollal. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions, and we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same, but in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
Could they not just have had the tablets, like, behind the throne? Because that's a long way to walk. Man, I kind of now want, like, to play A Realm Reborn, like, the launch 2.0 version of the game, and, like, look at the graphics in comparison. Realm Reborn Classic one.
The Tuliyollal saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth.
I'm with you, Tan.
Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
waste of time. Just name Bakunjaj as successor and be done with it.
The rite of succession begins now. I'll be watching your progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
The right of succession is such a smart idea. Like, I know some people don't like it, but the point is not just about who's powerful, it's not just about who's wise, it's not about who's cunning, it's about unity. Like, Tuliyollal is a coalition of disparate peoples and nations that need someone who can connect to all of them to unite them, or will breed chaos and strife.
You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Kryal Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf.
Oh, literally the letter said Galuf on it. You could see it said Galuf.
Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the right of succession. But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you have best help Lamachi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City.
I love how they say secession too. What do you mean a confirmation of a cool judge?
Thank you for hearing my petition.
Confirmation of what? The VA? Yeah, we got a confirmation that it's listed in the credits. It's only listed as one VA.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
That's touching, knowing that he was there for Kryal's arrival, as it were. Yeah, definitely.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
That speech was such a perfect ending to the capstone of Hydaelyn Zodiac arc going into this next arc. That was so perfect. More than anything, I want to see where this journey leads.
So you are committed to your path?
V arrives on scene.
Speak no more of it,
just in
then.
time for Graha.
As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
To be fair, Arenville's never really seen the Warrior of Light to being the Warrior of Light, right? Like, he wasn't there at Ultima Thule. Labyrinthos is the closest he's really seen.
Here they come! It's Zeralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliyollal's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Zeralja.
That accent. He's from
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The Resilion's son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Cold weather. I mean, that has to be... What, Wilson Hedda?
Zeralja, the first promise and commander of the Landscape. Zeralja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Zeralja is indeed the natural child of Gulul Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion, common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Zeralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Zeralja, the warmonger.
Cryon, are you all right?
Echo.
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Zeralja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Is there anything on who Zeralja's mother was?
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier. The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new. You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the rite of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant.
I love how everyone loves
If
Kona.
you will excuse me.
I'm correct about that, right? Y'all a bunch of Kona
Plain
stands.
spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Here we have Kona, the second promise.
To be fair,
Time
Kryl's
as a pupil at Charlian's own studio.
Kryl was using her specific ability with the Echo that we don't have, the emotional
Now that
part,
you
not just
mention
the
it,
memories.
I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliyollal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser Glabans. Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyollal. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your fealty.
Well said, brother.
Yeah, I'm just paying attention to his line now. And the problem is, like, so much of it just seems like general, like, dickishness, cruelty.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliyollal. I pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
It seems like that, but it's actually incredibly specific, and that specificity matters.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise.
Oh, okay, perfect, Luna. So they have all
His
the
strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
The Luljaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
I think people undervalue what that unity means. Not just to love want goodness for you, but for your neighbor too. I think that should be heralded.
Until Tuliyollal was founded
thing.
some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Wait, that's Kefkiwa's voice.
Of the Dawn's promise. I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Wuklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
No. Some of the upgrades are nice because, like, Namika now is just this binary of, like, there's old people and there's ancient people looking people and, like, young looking cures. It's like, basically, it's not there's, like, it's kind of clear that she's, like, 40 or 50, right? Like, she's not, like, ancient. Crews are all just nanny. Well, Namika looked after all of them, didn't she? I can't unhear it. Yeah. That two-headed claimant Bakul Jaja treats everyone around here as lesser beings. No doubt he tried to elevate the Mamulja above other races should he become Dawn Servant, not unlike how the Garlean Empire afforded special status to pureblood Garleans. So Kona, the second promise, is intent on developing his country by means of Charlene innovations. Given his background, I suppose it comes as no surprise. As you witnessed, Wuklamat has no great reporters yet. Not yet, at least. I know not what drives Zoralja, but it engulfs him like an inferno. Well, so much for that brief reunion I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard in any case. We should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliyollal saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for discrepancies between them. Good idea. Let's go and take a look. Memes. I don't know which one we're trying to show off, but this is the first one I saw. Someone in my server said Urian J. Rover, so here I guess we can finally have a spiritual successor to Grahakia. Range Rover. Beautiful. Also, good news, everyone. Good news, everyone. Uriange's underwear is black again now. Woo! The important things have been adjusted. Look, we have feet stuff and Uriange's black underwear. What more could we want out of our game? Who would be likely to get their driving license? Alice, Thancred. Oh, hey, look, it's Rydia and Raven. Speaking of it, you want to join our FC, you can come over to Crystal Curl, where you're welcome to join our FC. That makes everyone. Wuklamat, the tablets, if you would. Of course. I meant to talk to the others. Yeah. Thancred, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Thancred. Everyone has a tablet, then let's compare them to respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest differences. She did learn to drive, yes. That's the Elio way, Lefty. Stairs are for fools, Raven. Those and people who have knee problems. You should have seen me in middle school and high school. I would jump down like 2 flights at a time. Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have hollows where the keystones are fitted to be. So now that we've established the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn Servant said we are to retrace the path we walked in uniting Tural's people, and that we would encounter 7 electors along the way. Then we have an answer here in the front of us. Papa's path is all laid out in the Tuliyollal saga. The events the glyph portray, do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Lay of Reeds was in the nearby Hanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during a festival season and the whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Lay of Gold. That one involved the Palu Palu village, which is about the same distance from here. Before we're going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of talk as we toured the city about the storm we passed through at sea. Apparently it ravaged Tural several days ago. Since our roads are not well paved as the Eorzean, there's more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If we want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need, just leave it to me. I'll bring the information to us. It would be prudent to ensure we're prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. Are you guys starting maps? What time are we starting maps? No, map starts in an hour. Okay, cool. We have plenty of time. Rising. Sorry. So y'all, what's y'all's favorite, you know, while we're here real quick, what's y'all's favorite songs for Dawn Trail so far? Okay, that one's not gone, that one's not gone. I'm gonna go grab this quick. And why is it Honey Be Lovely? Or Be My Lovely, I think is the name of that song, actually. I swear to God, if they don't have a mechanic for either jumping off of something and like elbow dropping a boss or giving them the chair or something like that for the next parts of Arcadian. I'm gonna be so sad. The whole Shaloni suite. Dude, the Vanguard and the Shaloni, what is it? Trillium at high noon or whatever that's fucking rad. I will say my favorite dungeon theme though by far is the Skydeep Cenote one, because that one is just so good. It's like one of my favorite dungeon game themes, just the game. Called Be My Honey. Okay. Urkopacha nighttime theme is so pretty, and M4 song is peak. I like the M4. I'm trying to figure out why I don't adore the M4. Because it's really good. Maybe I've just become jaded. I don't think I know the Urkopacha theme, nighttime theme offhand, but that's because I haven't spent a lot of time in Urkopacha lately, because again, I've been playing all the like AR through Endwalker stuff to like do every quest in the game, get Elio all prepped, not have anything left to do in the main game, so I can just be Urkopacha, or I can be Tural focused for the next like year. Still need What You Makey Makey and Dirigible Landing. Well, wait. Oh, yeah, that's because I'm there. Okay, What You Makey Makey's down here. Trillium Smoke at High Noon. That's what it is. Thank you, Leffy. The Yue Iwata theme. Yeah, the version of the Heritage Found theme. Is it just me? I feel like the Yue Iwata Field Station theme could have been the map theme, and the like Heritage Found theme could have been the Yue Iwata theme. Yeah, the Heritage Found themes are pretty good. I mean, Alexandria's theme is absolute fire, but when was the last time a second to last or last dungeon map theme wasn't phenomenal? Like, Mount Gulg is amazing. I mean, Amarot's phenomenal. Obviously, Dead Ends is just like... Yeah, so last dungeon. So when was the last time the last dungeon theme wasn't absolute fire? Alamigo? Maybe? I mean, even then, it's really good. The fucking Aetherochemical Research Facility is really good. Unbroken Vessels. Honestly, it probably should be called Broken Vessels. Or I guess the vessels are unbroken. It's really more the contents that's... Yeah. What a comfort to have our lodging sorted in advance. Wuklamat said she would bring information to us. I wonder what she meant by that. Oh, it's such lovely little cottages, and they're on the water. They are actually really lovely. Will they be my lovely? Skydeep Cenote theme, yeah, but the rest are really, really strong, except maybe Ihakatumu. I mean, but that's also, to be in its defense, I feel like it's really appropriate. It's just not as much of a banger. But it's like, it's absolutely the song it needs to be. But yeah, like, Worker Zormer is, like, I think better than that. Skydeep Cenote, obviously, Origenics, Alexandria, Vanguard, yeah, they're all fire. That's right, the reservation is under Wuklamat's name. If you don't mind, I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. I'll go and track down the third promise. Once you've finished organizing your gear, you can meet us outside Shabalavia Tai. So, don't they voice that name at some point? Can someone phoneticize it for me if you remember? Greetings, visitors to Tuliyollal, and welcome to the four-hour cabins. Whenever you're ready, I will show you to your rooms. I know already American culture is really like represented in media and stuff. I am a little sad that I feel like with how much Alexandria is still semi-European, Shaloni is the only map really that has any amount of like kind of like modern American culture or anything semi-contemporary. I mean, it's still like Western tropes, right? But like that's fine. But it's like, you know, like Japan got, I mean, Doma's China and Korea and Japan, but like, you know, got Dengashi and so, like, I'd love a little more for like, not that it needs to literally be American, but maybe at least spending more time in Shaloni or something. Speaking of cabins, take its place as one of the Comfiest inns. Yeah, you get a whole house to yourself instead of a room. Yeah, 100%. Well, that's a good point, Laffy. Trust you to be the keenest to head out, Elio. But where are Arendville and Muklamat, I wonder? Oh, good, you're here. And who might your companions be? Seeing as we needed information, I thought who better to get it from than... Is that a shooting star? Than the locals. These two hail from the villages we're thinking to visit. I'll give you credit for taking initiative at least. What do you mean at least? I am honored that the Third Promise would seek my advice. I am too happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Before we begin, there will doubtless be other occasions we need to act independently, so I brought these for you, two of you. Link pearls? What's this? Tis called a link pearl, a gemstone harvested from a special shell. When linked together, they allow people to communicate across great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing to have. It'll be very useful on our travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. We should speak. Who do you think we should speak to first? Even up close, the Hanu are remarkably similar to the Vanu, aside from those brilliant feathers, of course. Is there a reason the Pelu all wear those masks? Please, ask us anything. I'll gladly tell you what I know. What a stroke of luck to forge the connection to the palace. May it be the beginning of a profitable partnership. Muklamat may not be as experienced or accomplished as her brothers, but she has an affinity for the people. For her, finding those willing to cooperate is as simple as asking. The Tuliyollal saga features a number of Turali clans. Two of those, the Hanu and the Pelu, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I brought a bunch of representatives of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are a cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearance in the Lay of Reeds, and their home village, Okhanu, is located in Kozamauka. Wait, literally Okhanu, literally home of Hanu. Oh, that's cute. Let me write that down. Oh, where was it? Where somewhere else they said Oak. I should look up somewhere else. Something else was called Oak, and they said it was home. Does anyone remember? It was earlier, but like we figured out that Oak means home. The other small fellow is one of the Pelu, a clan of business-minded folk from Urkelpacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold and craft all kinds of marvelous goods in Wanchupelo, their village. Or no. No, it was Pelu. No, sorry, I got it wrong because it's Wachu Makey. Wachu Makey means house. That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking of. But we do know Okzundu from Heaven's Word. So it's interesting that the language seems to stuck. So Wachu Makey means house. So it was, what I was thinking of was Wanchupelo. Because Wanchupelo, so Wanchupelo means house of, I'm assuming Pelo might be plural for Pelu. Well, no, because Pelu would be a Pelu. So, interesting. I wonder what the Pelo means. Honshu Pello. Home of blank. I'm sure that we figure out Honshu Pello. Yeah, Pel. Home of gold. Yeah, if Pel is like money or gold. We'll keep an eye out and see if as we go along when we get to Urkopacha if they ever say it. If we ever figure out what Pello specifically means.
Now as for deciding which village to visit first. Why don't you put the adventure instinct of yours to work for us, Elio? Pick our destination.
So, what is it that you'd like to know?
The route to Okanu. We go south through the Arch of the Dawn, then follow the road which runs along the Kozumauka River. Is that right?
It is. Be warned, however. My brilliant brethren tell me the recent storms has rendered the path even muddier than usual. The footing is quite poor in some parts. Far worse was the destruction visited upon our home, though houses were thrown apart and several people injured if not killed. Even our beloved festival is in danger of being called off this year. If you do still plan on going, I must urge you proceed with caution.
We'll be sure to watch our footing. Thank you. Now I'm worried for the Hanu. It sounds like they were hit hard by the storm. Anyway, if we're bound for Kozumauka, we should head over there, over to the Arch. We'll be back to talk to you in good time, Master Merchant. Meanwhile, you can eat and drink your fill of Gibraltar tea. It's been arranged.
Pello ain't gonna turn down free food. Ooh, a new dawn, new hunt. Speaking of hunts.
You there. You are Elio Faugerant, are you not? The adventurer from across the salt who has been lending the third promise his strength.
More or less.
Then well met. To tell the truth, I have been meaning to make your acquaintance for some time. I have a proposition for you. You are familiar with the Eorzean hunt, yes? We have something very similar in Tuliyollal, and having heard much of your philanthropic spirit, not to mention your capacity for violence, we should very much like you to recruit you to our cause. If you are interested, speak with my associate Bal Ogwa. The Shabral is the master of the hunt and administers a bill in the square overlooking the port. Tell him the Wing of Protection recommends you.
It was just like Keshko was saying. The hunt guys. Culinary import. Wait, Court of Necessity. Can you do this early on? Or is that a different corn quest? The fact that I have to ask which corn-related quest it is a... I don't know if that's a testament of Dawn Trail or not.
What do we have here? Your posture could use some work, but you've got good eyes. Eyes that have seen a few things. You are here to sign up. The Wing of Protection recommended you, do they? Well, we are always on the lookout for new hunters, and you're good enough for Wuklamat. You're good enough for us. Please, pleasure to have you with us, Elio. Suppose I better get down to the introductions. Or maybe I don't need to. This whole idea came from your side of the sea after all. It was Kona who showed us your ways. Either way, I'll keep it brief. Our hunts work much of the same way they do in Eorzea. You put a bounty on those beasts that prove themselves as enemy to the people. You kill them and bring us back proof. You get a reward. While your reputation may precede you, rules are rules, and that rule is I have to test every hopeful out on beginner builds, and have every youngling with nothing his name put a plowshare and a dream of glory skipping merrily away to his doom. Prove yourself in Tural, and I'll give you some bigger, bitier fish to fry.
Oh, it's actually a decent amount of XP.
Dawn hunts, now accessible.
That side quest done. Is the starting corn servant quest? It is? Okay, I didn't realize you could start it so early. I thought you had to like finish the story before you could do it. Rain. Infinite, are you around? Can you, could you pass me the official lyric leak for the Smile lyrics? Oh, in Discord? I need to look at that because I haven't actually really looked into it yet, and I need to start. I've been writing up a part, like notes for a Smile lyrical lore for a while, but I wasn't going to do anything with it until they had the official stuff. Another Ironheart? A fellow Eorzean, am I right? Do you fancy yourself much of a sightseer? I've been known to see a sight or two, much like thanks to your relatives. Dear old Milith gave you her journal. My, what a small world. It just so happens that I'm her cousin, Elseby. Ironheart is at your service. Elseby? Is this an actual name that I just haven't heard before? Elseby? Well, if you've met cousin Milith, I'm sure you can guess why I cross the salt, as they say. The continent is possibly brimming with sights unseen by Eorzean eyes, and I'm here to discover them all. My twin sister and I, that is, you see, I had more interest in Yok, while she was drawn to the visuals of shock. So it was that we parted ways at the bridge, each of us touring half of Tural. What are they? Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny's? So give me your sightseeing logs then. Our village in Hanutang. Okay. Well, so Hanu, so village. So Oak meaning village, Hanu, our, us. Let's see. Oh, how beautiful. I should like to see these places myself someday. Sorry, I was going to just scribble down. My notes on Tural I included with my sister shared with me of Jacques Tural, but I'm afraid it isn't much. My twin's name is Emmeline, and she's still wandering about over there. Given your natural affinity for Ironhearts, you'll doubtless run into her some day. Well, I'm sure you've got places to be and vistas to behold. May your journey throughout Tural be bright and unforgettable. Sightseeing log expanded. Let me, that's my Trello board. Where's my Joplin board? Montepelu, Okanu. Our thank you, Luna. I bet it's not a leak since it's from the OC book. Yeah, it's not. It's a leak in that technically the CD book wasn't out when that was got out, right? It's not like a leak in this normal sense, but it is in technically that like there was no official release of that, and a physical good that was not supposed to be released yet was put out, right? Their tail is rough. Oh, is there more to it, Voltaire? I don't think I followed up on it. Oh no. Oh no. Was her sister in Yasulani? Oh no. Fuck me. Man, what a good setup. She's how you unlock the second part of the sightseeing log. I'm sure when I played through, I read this and I knew it, but I've completely forgotten it. Because I know I unlocked sightseeing log on Lendriel in both places, so I have to have seen that. I totally forgot. I should have liked to observe the festival, but the Hannu are probably not in the mood to celebrate. I swear the gates get bigger every time I see it. Considering the size of the Galul Jaja, though, I suppose it's better than having to be too small. The Hannu are friendly folk who should welcome us with open arms, assuming they are not too preoccupied with recent troubles, that is. Through this gate, we'll be on our way to South Kozumauka. Man, I miss doing Aaronville's voice. It's a lot of fun. I almost enjoy this as much as the goblins, but soon we'll have marvelous for us. ¿Qué pasa? Are we all ready to leave? Then onward to Kozumauka. Open the way. In the center, yes, Astoria, and I think Infinite hasn't sent them yet, but yeah, if anyone hasn't, feel free to just ping me. Yeah, me in Discord.
Kozumauka, the land of rainbow terraces. commands the gaze of all who visit without fail.
It commands the gaze
The
because of its rainbow
many-colored
terraces?
marvel. An endless torrent of water cascades over sheer cliffs to shape the wetlands below. To its relentless flow, all life must yield. Together with Wuklamat, we proceeded along the marshy trail, a road upon which the Dawn Servant and his comrades once traveled.
You're welcome, Raven. Thank you, Laffy.
Look at those falls. Even from this distance, you can feel the weight of that water. The Isle of Ham was impressive, but as you can see, Tuliyollal does not want for natural wonders.
The ground is swampy, so watch your step. You wouldn't want to fall into a bog.
I won't. I told you I've been here before. Come on. Okanu isn't much farther.
Yeah, I have a huge bugbear on that one, V, as you know. On this one, at least with the Smile ones recently, what happened is the booklet released. So, like, actually there are official lyrics in the wild now. Also, Laffy, did you message me on Discord? I don't see a message from you. Maybe it just didn't update. Oh, hey, there's Laffy. Wetland is an apt name. Much of the ground here is positively saturated. I'd love to stand at the bottom of those huge waterfalls and bask in the majesty of it all. Pity they're so far away. Don Chill-chan. Could you ping them to me so I have them saved in a message? Because otherwise they're going to get lost. And I want to be able to have them pinned. There's no stopping the third promise, is there? A good thing she has Ehrenfeld to keep her from getting lost. For all his grumblings, he's certainly there for her. Everyone should be so lucky as to have such a loyal childhood friend. Right, let's get moving. If we continue along the road, we should find ourselves in the village before long. Hola, Laffy. Giant green Ulan. I think we're going to turn in this quest and we're going to pause there for tonight. It's a little earlier than usual. Usually I would go probably another hour. I would assume that most days we're going to be going for about 4 hours on average. And at that pace, I would assume we will be done in about 14 episodes. So yeah, so we should be done in about... probably about a month. Because I'm going to try to do Monday through Thursdays. Is going to be Monday through Thursdays at 3 p.m. EST, with the caveat that I may be taking time off right now as I catch up on working on videos, and also just don't push it too hard. So yeah, so we should be looking Monday through Thursday, going for the foreseeable future for at least a month. And then after that, I don't know, man. Either we're gonna do streams for wrapping up all the quests, or maybe do those in my private time just so I can take better notes. Maybe we will whenever we catch up. We have to just restart the whole MSQ. The thing is, I don't want to restart the MSQ until we get to 7.3, until they finish their their fixing of old stuff. Because I mean, even just patch 7.1, right? Like, they went back and changed so much in A Realm Reborn. It's crazy. There's about an hour of cutscenes per zone. Okay. So yeah. So my assumption is we're gonna basically do a part 1 of Kozumauka will be an episode. Part 1 of Urkopacha will be an episode. Then maybe the interstitial, like Dungeon 1. Maybe Dungeon 1 will be tied into the Urkopacha part. We'll see, depending on how long that goes. Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how well that goes. Did you get help? No, I did not get help with the lyrics yet. Or no, sorry, Laffy did message me. No, we're good. We're good. Thank you. Thanks, Infinite. Reminding, if you guys enjoyed the stream and you aren't already a member of our Discord, why not come join us at discord.gg/stories and archives, where you can join us for all sorts of fun events like maps that we're going to be doing in about 30 minutes here. We also do do mount farms and all sorts of other events together. We have Lore Book Club every Friday if you want to talk about the lore, have any questions. It's also a place to just meet friendly people. It's a very welcoming community. If you're watching this after the fact, it's not just for people who are here now at the stream. You can join the Discord. Also, you can ping me or any of the mods, Ray or V, to find out about if you want to get access to the FC that we have on Crystal Curl, if you need any help, all that, yeah. I also want to give a big thanks to all the people who've been supporting me on Patreon. I know a lot of you guys have not necessarily given me active rewards right now. You'll notice the banner by my head is not existent and needs to be updated and figured out. Right now, there's not really a lot of rewards that come with it other than name color changes in the Discord, which you have to ping me or a mod to let us know, because we still haven't figured out a way to like hook it into Discord. But I do want to say thank you very much for those of you who have supported, even if you have supported recently, if you have supported me at any time over the past 8 months while I was not making much content, while I was not doing well health-wise. I just want to thank you deeply, deeply from the bottom of my heart, and know that just because I'm not good about, updating Patreon or updating these things does not mean that I'm not deeply, deeply thankful. I just have major executive dysfunction and try not to get overwhelmed. Everyone has arrived, and none of the worse for wear, except for a certain third promise who slipped in the mud despite my explicit warnings. Hey, I asked you not to say anything. Anyway, this is the Hanu village I was telling you about, Okhanu. Actually, I want to see what everyone says real quick. Assuming we have the right idea, one of the Dawn Servant lectors should be here somewhere. So this is the Hanu village. One can tell at a glance how very different the culture is to Vanu. The waters from the falls must have flooded the wetlands and flow into all these streams and rivers. But yeah, it has been so good to be back to this. I'm really excited. This whole environment I'm in right now is getting all set up. I'm getting it set up bit by bit. Right now the backdrop's a little bit in flux and chaos as I figure out these shelves that I built and figure out stuff. I'll also get the modifier up for all money that we're getting from streams right now. We'll go towards getting the other boxes from old Final Fantasies. So that'll be fun. It's an exciting time. For those of you who care, here's I am currently working on, there's another corner in this room that I'm going to set up a fake fireplace and a rug. And I also am currently 3D printing the 3D model of the chair from the chair mount from here. I think I have it on Elio. I'm gonna 3D print and upholster this actual chair, so and it'll actually go in that corner as well. So we can do like I can do like readings of Encyclopedia Eorzean Volumes 3, the volumes and stuff like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. Good things come in the future. There will be at least a short out tomorrow is my plan. Obviously there will be a Lore Book Club. There will not be a stream because Mondays through Thursdays, not Monday through Fridays. However, and we will have Friday Book Club. We will have Saturday Mount Farming as per usual. There should be at least a short out tomorrow, and there should be content coming out semi-regularly over the intervening weeks and months. And a non-regular schedule, but hopefully moving into regular schedule quickly. Again, to all of you who are watching, thank you very much. To those of you who have reached out on other streams that I have that are not this stream, who I have said that you watch the stream and enjoy the content we make, I cannot tell you how much it makes my day when I get random whispers in the game about people who said they appreciate or enjoy the content or it helped them, the videos. I cannot tell you how really encouraging that is to me. So yeah, definitely don't be a stranger. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Obviously, we've got Kozumaoka coming up, and then you know what else we've got coming up. The Moblins. The Moblins are coming! The Moblins are coming! Okay, I've been Elio Fortran. I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody.